Chapter 1702. 1702 Under the Mysterious Pet 1702. This is the first time I've seen such a majestic and adorable creature. Emome looked at the group of people who agreed and smiled. She continued to move her palm forward. Sensing that someone was moving towards her, Wang Xian opened his eyes slowly. A cold and majestic expression appeared in his eyes. Emome felt Wang Xian's gaze and was slightly shocked. She looked at his eyes in astonishment. What a majestic little guy. He's really too cute. Emome was stunned by this invisible aura for 2 seconds. Then, she laughed and continued to extend her arm toward Wang Xian. However, just when her palm was 1 meter away from Wang Xian, she suddenly felt a sharp pain in front of her. Her expression changed drastically. She quickly retracted her palm and couldn't help but take a few steps back. Her entire palm seemed to have been corroded and turned blood red, causing Emome's face to be filled with fear. Everyone around was stunned as well. They looked at the terrified Emome and her palm in astonishment. What's going on? What exactly happened? Emo Xiaoyu looked at Emome in astonishment and asked. Emome came back to her senses and looked at Wang Xian in shock. When she met his cold and disdainful dragon eyes, she actually felt a trace of fear in her heart. It's this pet. His strength. Emome stared at Wang Xian with a haunted expression. What? The surrounding young men looked at Emome's palm and then turned to the pet hovering above Mu Kair's left shoulder. Their faces were filled with shock. What's going on? Third sister, what's going on? Why didn't you take care of your pet properly? How dare you hurt Miss Emome? Mu Lingdong and Mu Jianchu's expressions changed drastically as they shouted at Mu Kair hurriedly. They looked extremely embarrassed. Emome's background was extremely terrifying. She was the descendant of the old demon god from the demon god tribe. If they were to be blamed, they would have to pay the price. Mu Kair looked at Wang Xian on her left shoulder in astonishment. Her face was also filled with panic. However, at this moment, Wang Xian shifted his gaze to Mu Lingdong and Mu Jianchu. He waved his dragon claw gently. In a flash, the grayish energy directly attacked the two of them. In fact, no one in the surroundings saw this attack. Before Mu Lingdong and Mu Jianchu could react, the terrifying energy landed on their bodies, causing him to spit out blood and fly backward. The powerful energy caused him to be heavily injured. What? This is that pet. Why didn't I see him attack? This pet is so terrifying. What level is he at? Why didn't I see his attack? Shocked voices came from the surrounding disciples of the Nine God Empire. Everyone took a step back in unison and stared at the pet floating on Mu Kair's body in shock. Emome's pupils constricted slightly as well. She didn't see how this mysterious and terrifying creature attacked just now. Mu Kair, who was at the side, widened her eyes as she stared at the pet that she picked up by the sea in disbelief. Wang Xian took a glance at Mu Kair and hovered quietly in the air. In his eyes, the group of people around him, all the elite core disciples of the Nine Gods Empire, were like ants. What happened? The commotion and the serious injuries of the two of them attracted the curious gazes of the young men in the middle. They raised their heads slightly as they walked over. A young man in the middle asked loudly, Sister Ome, what happened to your palm? Is there someone who dares to attack you? The young man from the Central Demon God tribe swept his gaze across the surroundings. He was slightly shocked when he saw the injury on Emome's palm. He immediately asked, It's nothing. It's that mysterious pet. Emome shook her head. She looked at Wang Xian, who had closed his eyes with a solemn expression. Miss Ome, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know that little Gorgeous would hurt you. Brother. Only then did Mu Kair react. She spoke with a panicked expression and ran towards Mu Jianchu and Mu Lingdong. Emo Xiaoyu, who was at the side, was dumbfounded. He looked at her with a stunned expression. What happened? The youth in the middle frowned and asked. Young Master Mo Ling is that mysterious pet. When Miss Mo May wanted to touch him, her palm was injured. And we didn't see any movement. The two youths from the Wood God tribe were sent flying. A youth from the Wind God tribe immediately replied. A mysterious pet? How dare a pet hurt someone here? Mo Lingzi frowned and looked at Wang Xian with a cold expression. That pet seems to be very strong. It's definitely not weaker than a 7th level see-through void stage. That's right. I didn't even see how the two young men from the Wood God tribe were sent flying backward just now. They are too strong. I feel that they might be even stronger. The surroundings were filled with discussions. Mo Lingzi was also looking at Wang Xian in astonishment. However, he didn't have any information about this creature in his mind. Mu Kai'er, what's going on? At this moment, a young man from the Wood God tribe who was wearing the same outfit as Mu Kai'er frowned slightly and asked her directly. He was standing beside Mo Lingzi. Clearly, he was one of the top talents in the Wood God tribe. When Wang Xian heard the aggressive voices, he opened his eyes. There was a hint of coldness in his eyes. I'm sorry. Mu Kai'er said with a sobbing tone. She immediately helped her two brothers up. Mu Lingdong and Mu Jianshi stood up with pale faces. They looked at Wang Xian who was on her shoulder and took 2 steps back in fear. I'm sorry. When Mu Kai'er saw everyone's eyes on her, she bowed in fear and quickly walked out. Mu Kai'er, stop right there. The young man from the Wood God tribe who was standing next to the demon spirit's son saw Mu Kai'er leaving immediately. He frowned and shouted immediately. However, Mu Kai'er, who was already in a daze, did not hear him. Instead, she ran out without knowing what to do. This made the young man who spoke look extremely embarrassed. Don't be afraid. Wang Xian looked at the flustered Mu Kai'er. After hesitating for a moment, he transmitted his voice to her. Who is speaking to me? Who is speaking to me? The voice that suddenly entered her mind shocked Mu Kai'er once again. She quickly asked. It's me. Let's go back to your place. Wang Xian looked at her and said faintly. In his opinion, Mu Kai'er was just an ordinary girl. She was even a little timid and cowardly. However, after she saved him from the seaside and gave him a few insightful void tier elixirs, she was destined to experience a huge change in her life. Chapter 1703. 1703 My benefactor, who would dare to touch him? If Mu Kai'er didn't pick him up from the sea, if she didn't give him the elixir at the insightful void tier, it might take some time for Wang Xian to wake up. It was unknown if he would encounter any danger during this period of time. Speaking of which, Mu Kai'er could be considered his benefactor. Naturally, he had to repay this favor. You can talk. Mu Kai'er stared at Wang Xian with a face full of astonishment. Her eyes widened and she couldn't help but take a step back. Go back to your residence. Wang Xian looked at her panicked look and smiled before saying again. Mu Kai'er was somewhat inexperienced and naive. He had a good impression of this woman who had saved him. Good. Mu Kai'er's expression changed as she nodded her head. She immediately walked towards the location of the Wood God Peak and entered the room. She closed the door and stared at Wang Xian nervously. You saved my life. I will repay you. Wang Xian transmitted his voice to Mu Kai'er. As he spoke, he felt the interspatial ring that had been swallowed into his stomach. He looked inside and realized that there was nothing else other than some metal materials. Sit cross-legged and cultivate. Wang Xian hesitated for a moment before speaking directly to Mu Kai'er. Cultivate? What are you doing? Mu Kai'er looked at Wang Xian in astonishment and asked directly. It was not strange for a demonic beast to be able to speak. However, what made her uncertain was what the other party was trying to do. Sit cross-legged and cultivate. Don't worry, I won't harm you. Wang Xian spoke in a gentle voice. This? Mu Kai'er's expression changed. She nodded and sat cross-legged on the ground. She knew that the pet she picked up was not simple. Now that he had said that to her, he would not harm her. Otherwise, she would have been killed in the past few days. Mu Kai'er sat cross-legged on the ground and started cultivating immediately. Wang Xian opened his mouth slightly. The 5 elements millstone appeared and floated above Mu Kai'er's head. Enter the state of cultivation. Wang Xian reminded her. Oh. Mu Kai'er nodded her head in response. The 5 elements millstone was activated. Wang Xian did not hesitate to expend his dragon energy to transform it into an extremely pure azure dragon's energy and directly entered Mu Kai'er's body. Furthermore, he used his supernatural ability to enchant the spirit to transmit his understanding of the wood attribute directly into her mind. This was the first time that Wang Xian did not hesitate to expend his dragon energy to increase a person's strength. Waves of azure dragon energy completely enveloped Mu Kai'er as the insights regarding the wood attribute were injected into her body. Mu Kai'er's strength, which was at level 2 of the see-through, was increasing at a terrifying speed. Level 3 of the see-through. Level 4 of the see-through. Level 5 of the see-through. Level 6 of the see-through. Wang Xian didn't stop until he reached the 7th level of the void interpretation stage. At her age, even the dragon race couldn't compare to her in the entire Super Hair continent. All right. Wang Xian's voice rang in Mu Kai'er's mind. Ah. Mu Kai'er woke up in shock and instantly felt the powerful strength coming from her body. Her eyes widened and her face was filled with disbelief. Mu Kai'er. At this moment, an extremely stern voice came from outside. Oh no. Mu Kai'er's expression changed slightly and she hurriedly opened the door. However, just as she opened the door, a slap landed on her face. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes slightly and looked over with a cold gaze. Father, I. Mu Kai'er's eyes turned red instantly as tears streamed down her face. The pet you picked up actually injured 2 of your brothers. What's going on? Also, even the descendant of the old demon god, Miss Mo Mei, was injured. Are you courting death? Mu Xinghua called you but you ignored him. I think you are trying to anger me to death. Tomorrow, I will bring you over to apologize. If the matter cannot be resolved, get out of my sight. Get out of the wood god tribe. An angry shout came from Mu Kai'er's father. The powerful aura suppressed her face so much that it was extremely pale. She revealed a terrified expression. Mu Kai'er's father swept his gaze across the room and met Wang Xian's cold gaze. His breathing paused slightly and then turned cold. We will decide your fate after the worship of the 9 gods tomorrow. Mu Kai'er's father's face was gloomy. With a cold voice, he walked out. You guys stay here and don't let her leave. He said to the 2 middle-aged men around him. It's the elders. The 2 of them quickly replied. Mu Kai'er's father walked out with a gloomy face. When he saw the injuries on his 2 sons and heard what they had said, he instantly became furious. He didn't pay much attention to his 3rd daughter. Women were supposed to get married. This time, he thought of using marriage to befriend the demon god tribe, but he didn't expect it to backfire. This made him extremely angry. The power of the 9 god lord was very great. If he casually killed a few experts who were half a step away from longevity, no tribe would dare to say anything. This was the rule. Therefore, he was a little frightened. He came over in anger. Sob. The sound of crying came from Mu Kai'er's mouth. She was squatting on the ground and crying with a broken heart. Wang Xian shook his head when he saw this scene. It was not appropriate for him to make a move in such a situation just now. The worship of the 9 gods tomorrow. His eyes were sparkling. Following that, he smiled and looked at Mu Kai'er. All right, Mu Kai'er, don't cry. After tomorrow, no one will dare to bully you. Wang Xian transmitted his voice directly to Mu Kai'er. You, little gorgeous, don't be mischievous in the future. Mu Kai'er raised her head and looked at Wang Xian with a crying face. Everything was caused by little gorgeous. When Wang Xian heard her name, his face turned black instantly. He immediately laid on the table and recovered. His injuries had not recovered yet. Now that he had used up his dragon energy, he was a little tired. Mu Kaier cried for a while. She wiped the tears off her face and sensed her own strength. Then, she looked at Wang Xian with a changing expression. Finally, she walked toward the bed with a helpless expression. Lying on the bed, she looked ahead in a daze. Her mind was filled with wild thoughts. Mu Kaier, bring your pet and come out. The next morning, a cold voice sounded from outside. Mu Kaier, who was lying on the bed, stood up in a hurry. Her expression changed and she immediately walked out. Let's go. I'll bring you to apologize to someone today. An expressionless female figure stood by the door and swept a glance at Mu Kaier, who was walking over. Wang Xian opened his eyes and moved his body. He floated directly above Mu Kaier's shoulder. He looked at Mu Kaier's father indifferently. When he heard her words, the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. Apologize? Apologize for what? He wanted to see who would dare to lay a finger on his savior today. Or perhaps make her suffer a little. Chapter 1704. 1704 Who would dare to touch the people under my protection? Don't speak when you get there. Do whatever I tell you to do. Mu Kaier followed behind her father with her head lowered. Her father's voice came from the front. It's father. She replied softly with a helpless look in her eyes. Wang Xian hovered on Mu Kaier's left shoulder and scanned his surroundings indifferently. Elders Yuan, hurry up. The Nine Gods worship ceremony is about to begin. Just as Mu Ziyuan brought Mu Kaier out of the courtyard, an elder in front of them looked at them and urged them. It's third elder. Mu Ziyuan immediately quickened his pace respectfully and walked over quickly. Ziyuan, the incident with your daughter yesterday is neither serious nor serious. Today, you must apologize to the elders of the demonic god tribe. Mu Ziyuan and the others walked over. The third elder glanced at Mu Kaier and reminded him. It's the third elder. I know. Mu Ziyuan immediately smiled and nodded. Well, then let's hurry up. The third elder nodded. The two of them quickened their pace and walked towards the Nine God Masters' divine peak in the middle. Along the way, everyone in the other 9 god peaks all walked towards the 9 god Masters' divine peak. With the birth of a new 9 god lord, there would be a 9 god worship. At that time, all the powerful experts in the entire 9 god empire would come over to worship. As the leader of the 9 tribes, the other tribes naturally did not dare to be negligent. Especially now that the demon god tribe had the help of the fire lark tribe, their strength was invincible in the 9 god empire. There were many insightful emptiness realm experts everywhere. In the entire 9 god empire, there were 60,000 to 70,000 insightful emptiness realm experts. This was definitely a terrifying number. Mu Kaier followed them to a huge square. In front of the square, there were 9,000-meter-tall statues. Each statue represented the founder of a tribe, representing the god of that tribe. In front of the 9 statues was a divine throne. The divine throne was 20 meters tall, and sitting on it could overlook everyone. In front of the huge square, many experts of the 9 god empire had gathered. The elders and elders of the 9 tribes had all arrived. In front of the huge square, there were more than 10,000 people. Just like the gathering of the younger generation yesterday, the other tribes had all gathered around the demon god tribe, trying to form a relationship with them. Follow me. Mu Ziyuan said to Mu Kaier with a cold expression. He looked at the demon god tribe with a dark expression. Mu Kaier took a deep breath and followed behind him. She lowered her head and did not say anything. Elder of the demon tribe, young master Mo Xiaoyu. Mu Ziyuan looked at the demon god tribe, where dozens of people gathered. He took a deep breath and squeezed out a smile. When he arrived in front of Mo Xiaoyu and Grandpa Mo Xiaoyu, he said with a smile on his face. Oh, Elder Mu? The bearded elder in a black robe looked at Mu Ziyuan and said indifferently. Elder of the demon race, my daughter was a bit rash yesterday and made a joke. Please forgive me, elder of the demon race. Mu Ziyuan bowed and apologized. I was a little rash and made a joke. Before the black-bearded elder could speak, A middle-aged man beside him said coldly. Brother Mo, it's my fault for not teaching you well. Elder Mu, Mo Xiaoyu, cannot afford to lose face. I brought my pet to hurt someone and even left so rudely. Before Mu Ziyuan could finish his words, Mo Xiaoyu interrupted him and said indifferently. He glanced at Mu Kaier behind him and shook his head slightly. He was originally very satisfied with this fiancée, but she had left last night. A group of people were discussing that she was his fiancée, making him look very embarrassed. He, Mo Xiaoyu, could not afford to lose this person. As for the possibility that Mu Kaier had a powerful pet, no one took it to heart. They were the top young elites of the Nine-God Empire. There were many demon beast races that had mounts that were at the level of level 8, level 9, or even half a step into the longevity realm in the Nine-God Empire. Who would care about that mysterious pet? Young Master Mo Xiaoyu, your engagement with my daughter. Mu Ziyuan's expression changed slightly as he hurriedly said. Let's talk about the engagement in the future. The black-bearded elder said indifferently. Mu Ziyuan's expression instantly turned ugly. Mu Kaier, who was standing behind him, also trembled. My daughter's marriage has already been announced. This will make my daughter. Mu Ziyuan looked at the black-bearded elder and said with an embarrassed expression. The higher the level, the more they cared about face. The matter of Mu Kaier's engagement with the demon god tribes Mo Xiaoyu had already been announced. Now that the demon god tribe did not agree, it was simply a disguised form of breaking off the engagement. This black dot would follow Mu Kaier for the rest of her life. In fact, many families would not marry Mu Kaier because of face. This would have a huge impact in the future. Haha, Elder Jean, long time no see. However, at this moment, the black-bearded elder ignored them and greeted the golden-robed elder in front of him. Bastard, what's the use of having you? When Mu Ziyuan saw that the tribal elder of the demonic god tribe was ignoring him, he turned his head with a face full of anger and shouted at Mu Kaier. Mu Kaier's body trembled. She lowered her head and didn't dare to speak. Her eyes instantly turned red. Yesterday, your pet hurt Miss Mo Mei. Let's go. Mu Ziyuan took a deep breath and looked at Mu Kaier. Then, he looked at Wang Xian who was floating on his left shoulder coldly. He looked around and saw Mo Mei following around his parents. When he noticed the elders of various groups gathered around him, he frowned slightly. However, he still braced himself and walked over. Damn it, how can you be my daughter? Mu Ziyuan said in a flustered manner. He squeezed out an awkward smile and walked towards the group of people. Miss Mo Mei, I'm really sorry about what happened to my daughter last night. Mu Ziyuan walked over and smiled apologetically at Mo Mei. Oh. Mo Mei was slightly stunned as she turned her head to look. When she saw Mu Kaier and the mysterious pet floating on her shoulder, she smiled. It's all right, I've already recovered. Mo Mei shook her head as she looked at the mysterious pet. How can you be fine, Miss Mo Mei? Look at the scar on your palm. You just left without any manners. How embarrassing for our wood god tribe. However, just as Mo Mei said that, a youth dressed in the wood god tribe's uniform said from the side. That youth was none other than the youth from the wood god tribe who was with Mo Lingzi and the others yesterday. Miss Mo Mei, I have some wood spirit essence here. I didn't bring it with me yesterday. Today, I specially brought some for you. After applying it, it can remove the scars. The youth smiled as he took out a small blue porcelain bottle and handed it to Mo Mei. Thank you, young Master Mu Qingming. Mo Mei hesitated for a moment before smiling and nodding her head. It's just a small matter. It's just a beast randomly injuring people. Just kill the beast. At this time, the devil spirit son who was standing not far from the side looked over and said faintly. Chapter 1705. 1705. Who would dare to touch the people under my protection? Get down. It was just an animal randomly hurting people. Just kill the animal. A light voice came from Mo Lingzi's mouth. He stood there and said with a relaxed expression. What? When Mu Kaier heard Mo Lingzi's words, she suddenly raised her head and stared at Mo Lingzi. No. No, father. Yesterday, it was because Miss Mo May wanted to touch Little Gorgeous, he attacked. He usually doesn't attack others. Mu Kaier hurriedly looked at her father and explained. Shut up. Your two brothers are still recovering from their injuries. Could it be your brother's fault? Mu Ziyuan coldly shouted at Mu Kaier and said with a cold gaze. Mu Kaier, a beast that you picked up? It's best not to keep it by your side without training. Besides, do you know how impolite you were yesterday? Mu Qingming looked at Mu Kaier and said coldly, You, don't throw away the people of the Wood God tribe. Mu Kaier's face turned pale. She quickly looked at Wang Xian who was beside her. Her eyes were filled with worry. Last night, although he already knew that Wang Xian was extraordinary, this was the place where the 9 gods worshipped. All the experts from the 9 God Empire were gathered here. So what if he was powerful? Could he be comparable to the 9 God Empire? Miss Mo May, this beast hurt you yesterday. Today I will kill him. Mu Qingming's eyes were shining as he stared at Wang Xian. His eyes were filled with eagerness to give it a try. Forget it. Mo May shook her head. How can we just let it go like this? An uncultured beast. This time he hurt Miss Mo May. The next time he might hurt others. Just kill him and end this once and for all. Mu Qingming shook his head. Miss Mo May, let me avenge you. As he spoke, a magic staff appeared in his hand and he raised his head slightly. Forget it, this pet is very strong. Mu Qingming, don't worry about it. If he dares to resist, I'll kill him. Before Mo May could finish her words, Mu Ziyuan, who was at the side, spoke up. He had asked Mu Kaier to bring the pet along so that she could vent her anger and express her sincerity to them. Furthermore, this pet had hurt his 2 sons. Naturally, he would not let it go. All right. Mu Qingming smiled and stared at Wang Xian slowly. At the side, some elders from the Demon God tribe and other tribes noticed the situation and looked over indifferently. They smiled and didn't interfere. In their eyes, this was just a small matter. You guys? Mu Kaier looked at this scene with a panicked expression. However, at this moment, Wang Xian heard them calling him a beast. His eyes turned cold. He looked at Mu Qingming who was about to attack him. A hint of coldness appeared in his eyes. He raised his dragon claw and swung it at Mu Qingming. Be careful. Mo May, who was injured by Wang Xian previously, was shocked when she saw Wang Xian raising his dragon claw. She quickly shouted. Bang! However, the moment she finished her sentence, Mu Qingming, who had a smug smile on his face, froze. His eyes widened slowly and his body fell to the side. What? Mu Ziyuan was shocked when he saw the instant death of Mu Qingming. His face was filled with shock. His aura changed drastically and the power of the 9th level of the see-through realm was unleashed. Wang Xian looked at Mu Ziyuan and frowned. He waved his hand gently and the terrifying force sent Mu Ziyuan flying backward. He spat out a mouthful of blood. Xiao Ban Lan, stop it now. Mu Kaier, who was the first to react, shouted in panic. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Don't worry. I will protect you from now on. No one will dare to touch you. Wang Xian's hoarse voice rang out as he spoke in human language. Qingming. Oh no, there are demonic beasts causing trouble. There are demonic beasts killing people. This is an unforgivable crime. How dare they come to our 9 God Empire to cause trouble? Mu Qingming was instantly killed and Mu Ziyuan was severely injured. This caused everyone to be slightly shocked. All the experts in the 9 God Empire immediately looked over with killing intent on their faces. This place was where the tribal elders gathered. The expressions of the dozens of tribal elders changed slightly. The smiles on their faces disappeared and they revealed a dignified expression. You dare to cause trouble in our 9 God Empire. Which faction are you from? The Empire of 10,000 Monsters? A tribal elder of the Demon God tribe revealed a murderous look on his face. He dared to kill people while the 9 gods were paying their respects. He was simply audacious. Even if the demon emperor of the empire of 10,000 monsters dares to cause trouble here, he must die. The eyes of the tribal elders were locked onto Wang Xian. Their faces were filled with killing intent. Killing someone in their lair. If the other party were to leave, what would the 9-god empire's reputation be like? Ooh, you actually killed Mu Qingming. Mo Mei cried out involuntarily when she saw Mu Qingming's lifeless body. She also understood some of Mu Qingming's intentions towards her. She also knew that he was trying to be nice to her. However, she never expected that Mu Qingming would be killed directly. Boom, boom, boom. Waves of terrifying aura soared into the sky as waves of killing intent locked onto Wang Xian. Mu Kaier's face was extremely pale when she saw this scene. She was the center of attention, the real center of attention. Everyone's gaze was fixed on Wang Xian, who was on her shoulder. Naturally, she was also in the line of sight of all the experts in the 9-god empire. This Mu Kaier's pet is really audacious. He actually dared to kill someone here. Her pet's strength is so terrifying. It injured an elder with one blow. It has the strength of at least half a step into longevity. What's the use of having a strong pet? This pet is going to kill herself. If she dares to cause trouble during the worship of the 9 gods, the demon god tribe will definitely execute her. When all the elite disciples of the 9 gods empire saw this scene, they opened their mouths slightly and revealed shocked expressions. This Mu Kaier's pet actually dares to kill people here. Luckily it didn't agree to this marriage. Mo Xiaoyu was stunned when he saw this scene and heaved a heavy sigh of relief in his heart. Mo Xiaoyu's grandfather, father, and company also heaved a sigh of relief slightly. 1. Just as all the experts in the 9-god empire who were worshipping their seniors locked onto the mysterious pet. To everyone's surprise, the mysterious pet raised its paw again and attacked the demon spirit. How dare you attack me, you bastard! A group of half-step longevity of the strong face rage shouted. A half-step longevity of the elder's figure a moment to the face of the shocked demon spirit's son in front of arm-heavy swing. Another 5 or 6 half-step longevity powerhouses moved their bodies and were ready to attack Wang Xian. Bang! However, what shocked everyone once again was that the half-step Wanshou who was standing in front of Mo Lingzi was sent flying and was severely injured instantly. Chapter 1706. 1706 1,706 lives were saved by gushing spring. What? Hiss, its strength. The pupils of the 5 or 6 half-step longevity experts who were about to attack Wang Xian shrunk slightly when they saw this scene. They were shocked. They quickly stopped moving and their faces were filled with fear. The realm of longevity, the realm of longevity. 5 to 6 experts who were half a step away from the realm of longevity cried out in surprise. The surrounding experts who were half a step away from the realm of longevity focused their eyes and weapons appeared in their hands one by one. The realm of longevity. Once one reached the realm of longevity, it would represent another world, representing the top existences in the entire continent. Whoever dares to stop me from killing him will die today. Wang Xian glanced at everyone around him indifferently and his gaze landed on Mo Lingzi. No, don't kill me. Mo Lingzi looked at Wang Xian's indifferent gaze and a drop of cold sweat dripped down his face. He never expected that the beast he was talking about was actually an expert of the longevity level. This was the longevity level. If he knew about this, he wouldn't dare to insult him even if he had 10 guts. However, he had already said it out loud. An extremely regretful look appeared on his face. Everyone around was staring at Wang Xian in shock. Their eyes were filled with disbelief. This mysterious pet was actually an expert at the longevity level. Mo Xiaoyu and the rest were even more shocked. They looked at him in disbelief. Lord Gold God, there's an invasion from a longevity expert. Lord Wood God, there's an invasion from a longevity expert. Lord Water God, there's an invasion from a longevity expert. At this moment, all the human elders around were staring at Wang Xian vigilantly as they hurriedly shouted. Their voices reverberated throughout the entire 10-fingered divine peak. "Ha! Who dares to cause trouble in our 9-god empire?" In an instant, sounds of shock and anger rang out from the void. Golden rays, blue rays, earthy yellow rays. Rays of light flew over from the god peaks in an instant. In the center of each ray of light stood 1 or 2 old men with crowns on their heads. They were like gods as they appeared in the sky in an instant. "Gods, it's him. He's the one who's causing trouble here. He wants to kill me. Kill him, kill him." Mo Lingzi saw the gods of the tribe flying over. His heart that had been lifted up was lowered as he roared with a ferocious expression. He stared at Wang Xian with fear and malevolence in his eyes. This was their 9-god empire. This was their territory. "Even if you are a longevity expert, don't even think about killing me. You killed a disciple of my 9-god empire while our 9 gods were worshipping you and seriously injured an expert of my 9-god empire. Today, no matter what your identity is, you must die." The old man who was emitting a green glow swept his gaze across the surroundings. His gaze was locked onto Wang Xian as he announced in a deep voice. In the sky, other than the longevity experts from the demon god tribe who had yet to arrive, the other 8 tribes had all arrived. 13 longevity experts stood in the air. Their bodies exuded an imposing aura that could intimidate the world. Even a pet of the longevity realm would have to die here. Mo Xiaoyu said with an uncertain expression. "Little Gorgeous, it's over, it's over. You've caused trouble. We're all going to die." In the center, Mu Kaier saw the group of tribal leaders and the longevity experts staring at them. Her face was filled with despair. Even if Little Gorgeous was a longevity-level existence, she was still not a match for the entire 9-god empire's experts. "All right, don't worry." Wang Xian looked at the longevity experts who were locked onto him in the sky. There was even a level 4 longevity expert among them. He did not panic at all. He spoke to Mu Kaier calmly as his dragon body slowly transformed. A human figure appeared in front of everyone. He used the energy of light and darkness to condense a piece of clothing to cover his body. The difference was that there was a long wound on his neck that extended all the way to the top of his chest. This wound was considered a fatal one. "Call Mo Sha over." After Wang Xian transformed into his human form, he spoke to the group of longevity experts from the 9 gods empire in the sky. "Ha!" The group of longevity experts was slightly stunned when they saw Wang Xian transforming into his human form. "You don't have the qualifications to meet the master of the 9 gods." The burly elder who was emitting an earthen yellow aura roared coldly when he heard Wang Xian's words. An earthy yellow earth mountain phantom appeared behind him, ready to attack at any time. "Wait!" The elder, whose entire body was emitting a golden glow, hurriedly stopped the earth god. The gold god sized up Wang Xian and a figure appeared in his mind. However, due to the unclear information he obtained previously, he did not dare to confirm it. "Master of the 9 gods, there is something that you might need to settle." The gold god hesitated for a moment before he immediately transmitted it to the god peak of the master of the 9 gods. "Gold god, he is a longevity powerhouse. We can easily resolve it without the help of the master of the 9 gods." The earth god was slightly stunned when he saw the gold god stopping him. He asked in bewilderment, "Mo Sha, get over here quickly." At this moment, an impatient voice sounded from below. The voice was a little hoarse and enveloped the entire 10-fingered god peak. When everyone in the 9-god empire heard Wang Xian's words, they were shocked and furious. He actually dared to speak to the master of the 9 gods like that. However, when the gold god heard Wang Xian's words, he was basically certain in his heart. The other tribes might not know, but as the former master of the 9 gods, he had more information. This must be Boss Missouri Boss. Just as the gold god opened his mouth, Three figures teleported to the sky from the top of the peak of the leader of the 9 gods. The leader was Emo Shah, who was wearing a 9-colored outfit and an imperial crown. His gaze landed on Wang Xian, who had reverted to his human form. "Boss, where have you been? I missed you so much, Emo Shah." "Young Master Wang." Under the shocked gazes of everyone in the 9-god empire, Emo Shah instantly appeared in front of Wang Xian. Furthermore, his exaggerated words entered everyone's ears. Everyone in the 9-god empire was stunned. "Boss." The boss of the master of the 9 gods. This made them think of some things about the master of the 9 gods a year ago. Was it this young man who made the current 9 gods master kneel down? Because of this matter, when the demon god wanted to fight for the position of the 9 gods master, he was resisted by several tribes. In the end, if it wasn't for his strength being too strong, those who refused to submit would be beaten into submission. The current position of the 9 gods master was still the golden god. That mysterious pet was actually the boss of their 9 gods master, that young Master Wang. The expressions of everyone in the 9 gods empire kept changing. Mu Kair, who was standing at the side, widened her eyes and looked at this scene in a daze. The mysterious pet that she had saved was actually the boss of their 9 gods master. This was actually so unbelievable, it was like a dream. Chapter 1707. 1707 thanked Wang Xian for saving his life. "Young Master Wang, how are your injuries?" At the place where the main god peak of the 9 gods worshipped, all the experts of the 9 gods empire looked at this scene in shocks. Feng Yun, who was flying over immediately after Emo Shah, looked at the horrifying injuries on Wang Xian's neck. She revealed a shocked expression and immediately asked with concern, "Boss, why is the injury on your neck so serious? Who did it?" "Emo Shah, I'm going to kill him." Emo Shah also noticed the injury on Wang Xian's neck and asked in shock. The injury on Wang Xian's neck was extremely horrifying. Moreover, his strength had reached an extremely high level. As long as it was not a fatal injury, he would be able to recover very quickly. Just like how his hand was cut off and his chest was penetrated. As long as he was still breathing, he would be able to recover without leaving any scars. Now that Wang Xian had such a terrifying scar on his neck, it was obvious that his injuries had not fully recovered. "I have already killed my opponent. Give me some elixirs." Wang Xian said to Emo Shah in a hoarse voice. Yes, I have it, boss." As Emo Shah spoke, he took out all the elixirs and spiritual herbs from his interspatial ring. Looking at the longevity level elixirs and spiritual herbs, the surrounding longevity level powerhouses twitched their lips. These elixirs were only available to the masters of the 9 gods. How could they give them to an outsider? However, they didn't dare to say anything. Wang Xian placed the elixirs into his mouth and turned them into dragon energy to heal his injuries quickly. But in less than 20 seconds, a terrifying aura was emitted from Wang Xian's body. The aura was restrained in the surroundings, but it made everyone in the surroundings tremble in fear. Second level of longevity. His injuries have yet to fully recover. He has actually erupted with the strength of second level of longevity. The Earth God of the Earth God tribe had a face full of shock as he felt Wang Xian's strength. His strength was only at the first level of longevity. His injuries were healing rapidly. Wang Xian's aura was also rising at a terrifying speed. The wound on his neck was getting smaller and smaller. Just a little more. A minute later, Wang Xian exhaled and said faintly, "Young Master Wang, I still have some spirit fruits here." The gold god took out a few spirit fruits of the longevity level and handed them to Wang Xian. "I have some here too." "Young Master Wang, I have some here too. I hope that I can use them." The gods of the 9 god empire, the longevity level powerhouses, and the powerful powerhouses of their empire took out one precious pill after another. Everyone in the 9 god empire was dumbfounded when they saw this scene. Especially the younger generation of the 9 god empire. This. When Mo Lingzi saw this scene, he felt a tingling sensation on his scalp. A bad premonition filled his heart. This mysterious pet was not only a powerhouse at the longevity level, but also the boss of their master of the 9 gods. The more he thought about it, the more his body trembled. "Thank you." Wang Xian didn't refuse. The injury on his neck was too unbearable. He put all the pills into his mouth. The aura on Wang Xian's body rose again. He didn't stop until he reached the peak of level 3 of longevity. The surrounding experts of the 9 God Empire felt the aura and their eyes revealed a look of astonishment. Level 3 of longevity. There were only 3 people present. Level 4 of longevity, there were only 2. The leader of the 9 gods was actually a level 3 of longevity. Feng Yun could feel the aura that could suppress her. Her eyes were filled with excitement. The stronger Wang Xian was, the happier she would be. Furthermore, this time, she had personally witnessed Wang Xian's terror. When she arrived here more than a year ago, he was only at level 9 of the Void Interpretation Realm. Now, he was already at level 3 of longevity. It was truly terrifying. In a few years, he would even be able to rule the entire supernatural continent. By then, it would be a piece of cake for the Empress to take revenge. Level 3 of the longevity realm. My goodness, it's really terrifying. As expected of the owner of that heart. You should be a good little brother from now on. Mo Sha was trembling as much as Feng Yun. At the same time, the thought of being the owner of the heart was completely thrown to the back of his mind. Phew! Wang Xian exhaled and a smile appeared on his face. I almost died together with my opponent this time. He said faintly as he looked at Mu Kaier who was at the side. He smiled when he saw her restrained and somewhat at a loss. It's all thanks to you. If it wasn't for you, I might not even be alive. That's why I said that you're my savior. As long as I'm still alive in the future, nothing will happen to you. Wang Xian assured Mu Kaier. Boss? Mo Sha was stunned when he heard what Wang Xian said to Mu Kaier. A hint of envy flashed across his eyes. Speaking of which, he could only be considered as Wang Xian's little brother. However, the little girl in front of him was different. She was his savior. According to the correct order of seniority, Wang Xian was the master and he was the servant. Meanwhile, the girl in front of him was his master's savior. Her status was even higher than his. Mu Kaier looked at Wang Xian in a daze. She never expected such a situation. I was just casually. Kiki, young lady, not bad. You are from the Wood God tribe, right? You saved my boss. In the future, in the entire 9 God Empire and the entire supernatural continent, if anyone dares to provoke you, Mo Sha, will not let them off. Mu Kaier was still thinking of saying something when she was interrupted by Mo Sha's words. Upon hearing the 9 God Lord's words, Mu Kaier was stunned once again. Oh, Mo Sha, I'm already over 3,000 years old. I don't even have any descendants. How about this, after today, you will be my, Mo Sha's, goddaughter. In the future, you will also be the 9 God Empire's princess, the only princess. Mo Sha grinned as he continued speaking. This girl was the boss's benefactor. If he took her in as his goddaughter, wouldn't he be closer to the boss? Little girl, what is your name? Mo Sha stroked Mu Kaier's head and asked kindly. Mu Kaier looked at Mo Sha in a daze. She felt that her mind was a mess. She never expected that the 9 God Lord would actually take her in as his goddaughter. He had actually made her the only princess of the 9 Gods Empire. But I am Mu Kaier. Mu Kaier hurriedly said. Mu Kaier? Not bad, not bad. From today onwards, I will give you the surname of the Demon God tribe. You can also be called Mo Kaier. Your strength has actually reached the 7th level of the Profound Void tier. Impressive, impressive. As Mo Sha spoke, he sensed her strength and said with a smile. It's little multicolored. No, it's Senior Wang who helped me raise it yesterday. Mu Kaier said somewhat nervously. Kiki, Don't bother about who raised it. With your talent and training, you'll definitely reach the longevity realm in the future. I'll train well in the future and see if I can nurture a 9-god female lead for our 9-god empire. Kiki. Emosha said with a loud laugh. However, all the people from the 9-god empire around him were filled with shock. They looked at the somewhat dazed Mukaier in a daze. What was this? She had flown up to the branches and become a phoenix. She had ascended to the heavens in one step. Chapter 1708. 1708 Emosha ascended to the level of emperor. Mukaier's strength has actually reached the 7th level of the profound void tier. My god, how old is she this year? 7th level of the profound void tier, she's actually at the 7th level of the profound void tier. In the entire 9-god empire's younger generation, not a single one is her match. This isn't just flying up to become a phoenix. This is simply ascending to the heavens in one step. The current demon god lord is only over 3,000 years old and has a lifespan of over 6,000 years. If we give Mukaier all our efforts in nurturing her, even if she reaches the level of the 9-god lord, she has a very high chance of becoming the tribal god. When all the experts of the 9-god empire heard this, their faces revealed a look of shock and disbelief. The entire younger generation of the 9-god empire, the cream of the crop of the younger generation, the group of heaven's favored sons, were filled with envy and even looked at Mukaier with envy. It was only because she was lucky enough to save the boss of the demonic god lord that she was able to achieve such a huge change. Ignoring everything else, just the fact that the 9-god lord took her in as his adopted daughter and made her the princess of the 9-god empire was enough to make Mukaier soar to the heavens. Emo Xiaoyu and Emo Xiaoyu's father and grandfather stared at this scene in disbelief. The young girl who they had ignored and even rejected the marriage was now the princess of the entire 9-god empire. Becoming the adopted daughter of the 9-god master, this. Father, do you think this princess will take revenge on us? Emo Xiaoyu's father's body trembled, and cold sweat appeared on his forehead. With the importance the 9-god master placed on Mukaier, if he knew that they were going to divorce Mukaier, would he directly cripple them? Perhaps even without the appearance of the demon god master, just by the words of this princess, they would probably be punished. Even if Emo Xiaoyu's grandfather was a clan elder. Xiaoyu, later on, see if you can redeem it. If you can marry it back. The black-bearded elder was no longer as arrogant as before. He pursed his lips as he spoke, feeling that the probability of this happening was somewhat slim. Later on, let's go over and personally apologize to Princess Emokaya. The black-bearded elder's face was dark as he continued speaking. Yes, it's grandfather. Emo Xiaoyu stared blankly at Mukaier who was standing in the middle. His expression changed drastically. If he were to marry her, then he would have to work less for his entire life. Now, he wiped the cold sweat off his forehead and prayed that Mukaier would not pursue this matter. Mukaier, hurry up and thank the Lord of the 9 gods. And at that moment, the happiest person was undoubtedly the wood god of the wood god tribe. The strength of the entire wood god tribe was not very strong among the 9 tribes. It could only be ranked in the middle. There was only one longevity expert in the entire wood god tribe. Now, the wood god saw that Mukaier had been directly made a princess of the 9 gods' empire and became the goddaughter of the 9 gods. He had to nurture her vigorously. In addition, with the relationship with the mysterious young master, Mukaier could almost become a longevity expert in the future. No matter what, Mukaier was still a disciple of the wood god tribe. This was of great benefit to the entire wood god tribe. Thank you, Lord 9 God. Mukaier slowly regained her senses. Looking at all the experts of the 9 gods' empire, everyone in the 9 gods' empire looked at her with flushed faces. They hurriedly shouted, Kiki, just call me foster father. In the past, boss saved my life. I, Emo Sha, swear that in the future, I will not hesitate even if I have to risk my life for boss. Since you saved boss life, Mo Shah will naturally be grateful to you. Hence, you can just call me foster father in the future. You are welcome. Mo Shah laughed out loud as he spoke. On the one hand, he didn't forget to lick Wang Xian. On the other hand, he didn't forget to show his character of being loyal. Yes, Godfather. Mu Kaier looked at Wang Xian, who was smiling from the side. After hesitating for a moment, she shouted at Mo Shah. All right. Mo Shah smiled. The master of the 9 gods is passionate about loyalty. We are impressed. Would God hurriedly praised Mo Shah. This made Mo Shah feel great. Back when he wanted to become the 9 gods master, the biggest obstacle was not his own strength. In the 9 gods empire, the strong were the emperors. But because he had once knelt before a young man in public, this was an insult to the other longevity experts in the 9 gods empire. The dignified 9 gods master had once knelt before a young man. How was that proper? Later on, when Mo Shah suppressed them with his powerful strength, they had no choice but to make him the master of the 9 gods. Now that they heard that the young man was their savior, they were completely relieved. Furthermore, after witnessing the strength of this mysterious young Master Wang, they no longer had any ill feelings in their hearts. Instead, they felt that the master of the 9 gods valued friendship and loyalty. You guys can continue. I won't disturb you anymore. Wang Xian smiled at the side and said to Mo Shah. All right, Feng, bring boss to the divine peak of the master of the 9 gods. Mo Shah nodded and said to Patriarch Feng Yun. All right. Feng Yun gestured to Wang Xian, and the two of them immediately flew towards the divine peak of the master of the 9 gods. After Wang Xian and the rest left, Mo Shah smiled and patted Mu Kaier's head, making her stand at the side. Following that, the smile on his face slowly disappeared. Everyone around felt Mo Shah's smile disappear, and a majestic aura was emitted from his body. Everyone's heart trembled. Demon God, what happened just now? Mo Shah said to Mo Guilin with a majestic tone. After he became the master of the 9 gods, Mo Guilin once again ascended to the position of demon god. Master of the 9 gods, it's... Mo Guilin immediately approached and whispered. Just now, he had already understood everything. Get rid of it. Mo Shah heard Mo Guilin's report and said indifferently. Yes. Mo Guilin nodded respectfully, his gaze slowly looking at Mo Lingzi. Lord Devil God, Lord of the 9 gods, I was wrong. When Mo Lingzi saw Devil Scale's gaze landing on his body instantly collapsed on the ground, his face full of terror as he spoke. Wang. However, there wasn't the slightest fluctuation on Devil Scale's face, and a ball of terrifying black flame landed on his body. In an instant he was reduced to ashes. When everyone saw this scene, their hearts slightly trembled. Especially the powerful disciples from the other tribes, they felt their scalps go numb. Mo Lingzi was the most outstanding young genius of their devil tribe. He had reached the 6th level of the profound void stage at such a young age. However, after offending that young Master Wang, he was still killed. One could imagine how much that young Master Wang was in the heart of the Lord of the 9 gods. The 9 gods' worship continues. Mo Shah finished dealing with Mo Lingzi and softly shouted. Wang. Mo Shah's body moved and brought Mu Kaier to the seat of the 9 gods master. He sat majestically on the seat of the 9 gods master. Mu Kaier stood there at a loss. Greetings to the 9 gods master, greetings to the monarch master. In an instant, all the longevity experts bowed heavily. Under their longevity, they knelt on the ground and loudly shouted. Chapter 1709. 1709. In 1709, the vast region underwent a great change. In front of the divine peak of the 9 gods, Mo Shah sat upright on the divine throne, his gaze sweeping over the tens of thousands of people around him. After today, he would be the emperor of the 9 gods empire, the 9 gods emperor. Below the stage, Mu Kair's father was kneeling on the ground with a dumbfounded expression. Looking at the beautiful figure standing beside the divine throne, his expression was extremely complicated. This daughter of his, who he had never paid much attention to, had actually become an existence that even he had to look up to. When he thought of this, his emotions were extremely complicated. In the future, he might even have to be respectful when speaking to her. Young Master Wang, during the 1.5 years since you disappeared, I have been so worried. I am relieved to see that you are able to return. While the Nine Gods worship ceremony was being held in the Nine Gods Empire, Feng Yun brought Wang Xian to the main god peak of the Nine Gods and spoke to him. Nothing will happen to me. Wang Xian smiled and shook his head. He looked at Feng Yun curiously and asked, "Didn't you say you were going to the vast region? Why didn't you go there? Instead, you're in the Nine Gods Empire?" Something happened. When Feng Yun heard Wang Xian's words, her face darkened. "I didn't expect the Phoenix Dynasty to do such a thing. Not long after you left, the Phoenix Dynasty sent people to question why their soldiers were killed. At that time, the Phoenix Dynasty requested us to take out half of the spoils of war. If we don't take it out, they will hold the Fire Lark tribe accountable." As Feng Yun spoke, her face was gloomy and a little angry. Huh? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows. He didn't expect the Phoenix Dynasty to interfere in this matter. Later on, I naturally couldn't agree. I gave the life and death herb garden directly to Emo Sha so that he could use the power of the Nine God Empire. On account of you, young Master Wang, Emo Sha agreed very easily. He announced that the Weapon Peak and the Life and Death Herb Garden belonged to the Nine God Empire. Furthermore, Emo Sha used the Life and Death Herb Garden as an advantage. He made the other 8 tribes and the previous 9 God Master agree. The entire Nine God Empire opened their mouths, and the Phoenix Dynasty could only give in. As for our Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe, we directly moved into the Weapon Peak. The Phoenix Dynasty naturally did not dare to do anything to us, but the Fire Cloud Mountain Range was occupied by the Sacred Fire tribe. Feng Yun continued to speak with a solemn face. Let the Phoenix Empire continue to be arrogant for a few more years. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled. I'm preparing to return tomorrow. The next time we meet, it might be the time for the establishment of the 6th great empire in the supernatural continent. With you around, I believe in you. Feng Yun smiled. Don't worry, it won't take long. Wang Xian said confidently. Boss. While Wang Xian and the rest were chatting, Emo Sha came to the Divine Peak and shouted. Boss, which faction did you get injured by? I'll go and kill them. He walked over with a fawning expression and said proudly. Now that he had become the leader of the 9 gods, he could be said to be one of the 5 most powerful people in the entire continent. He had the right to say such words. I have already killed those who caused me to be injured. However, that faction still exists. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes slightly and said mockingly to Emo Sha. Still exists? Boss told me that I will bring people to destroy them immediately. In this extraordinary continent, I'm not afraid even if it's the other empires. Kiki. Emo Sha smiled proudly. His face was filled with strong confidence. Dragon race, go. Wang Xian said with a smile. However, the smile on Emo Sha's face disappeared as soon as Wang Xian finished his words. His face turned stiff. This, boss, you're not joking, right? Dragon race? Emo Sha stared at Wang Xian with his eyes wide open. His brows were trembling. Young Master Wang, the injuries on your body, could it really be? Feng Yun, who was at the side, frowned and asked nervously as well. It's just the dragon race. Why are you guys so nervous? Wang Xian saw their expressions and raised his eyebrows. Boss, that's the dragon race. Do you know how many longevity-level powerhouses there are in the dragon race? There are at least 1,000 dragon emperors in total. Even if the 5 empires were to join forces, it would be easy for the dragon race to wipe them out. Emo Sha shouted. His eyes were filled with fear when he mentioned the dragon race. In the past, he was confident that he could reach the top of the transcendent continent and look down on all creatures, even the dragon race. However, ever since he became the Nine-God Emperor Lord, he realized that even if he gathered all the resources in the Nine-God Empire, he could only reach the 5th level of longevity. At most, he could reach the 6th level. He completely dismissed this idea. The dragon race is invincible. Most of the resources in the entire Transcendence continent are in the hands of the dragon race. It's impossible to fight against the dragon race. Feng Yun added on from the side. He. When Wang Xian heard their fearful words, he chuckled. It seems that the invincibility of the dragon race has been deeply rooted in the hearts of the people. The dragon race has more than 5,000 dragon emperors and dragon emperors. There is even an existence above the dragon emperor. They should not have ignited the divine fire, condensed the divine spark, and established the divine kingdom. He added nonchalantly. What? Wang Xian's words shocked Feng Yun and Emosha. Even though they knew how powerful the dragon race was, they didn't dare to imagine that there were more than 5,000 longevity experts. There were more than 5,000 of them. There were only a dozen longevity experts in the entire Nine-God Empire. Be prepared. In the future, we will become enemies with the dragon race. Wang Xian patted Emosha's shoulder lightly and said faintly. The corner of Emosha's mouth twitched. His eyes were filled with fear. The dragon race is not invincible. The dragon palace is. All right, I will not stay here any longer. I want to return to the vast region. I will leave the matter of Mu Kair to you. Train her well. Wang Xian said to Emosha and the rest. Boss, this? Emosha looked at Wang Xian and wanted to say something. Wang Xian gestured to them and flew out. Looking at Wang Xian's figure, Emosha and Feng Yun's eyes sparkled. 5 years ago, when I met young Master Wang, he was only at the extraordinary realm. Feng Yun looked at his disappearing figure and said slowly. 6 years? When I met Boss 2 years ago, he was at the 8th level of the see-through void tier. Now, he is at the 3rd level of longevity. Emosha's tightly knitted brows slowly relaxed. It has been hundreds of thousands of years since the birth of a god in our extraordinary continent. Perhaps. Feng Yun muttered. For hundreds of thousands of years, there was a saying in the extraordinary continent. That was that the divine path had been broken and it was impossible for any living creature to become a god. Seeing Wang Xian, this saying might be about to be broken. They might be lucky enough to witness the birth of a god. Chapter 1710. 1710. The vast area of 1710 underwent a huge change. After Wang Xian left the Nine Gods Empire, he teleported to the direction of the vast area. Before coming to the vast area, Wang Xian promised the girls that he would be back within a year. Due to the accident, he had been in a coma for a year. It had been 1.5 years since he left the Dragon Palace. After I return, I'm afraid I'll have to give them a good beating. Wang Xian thought to himself as he flew towards the Dragon Palace at his fastest speed. The vast region was still too far away from the central continent. Even though he had the strength of a level 3 longevity expert, the distance of a few million kilometers was still very far. After flying continuously for dozens of hours, Wang Xian finally arrived at the Sea of Desolation. An hour later, he arrived at the top of the Dragon Palace with a smile on his face. He looked at the jewelry that he had crafted with longevity-grade materials along the way and smiled gently. After leaving for a few long periods of time, he was already experienced. He had to prepare a gift to coax his wife. Greetings, Dragon King. Welcome, Dragon King, back to the palace. Upon entering the Dragon Palace, the yakshas who were on patrol immediately shouted respectfully. Wang Xian waved his hand and entered the Dragon Palace directly. His figure flashed and he instantly arrived at the Dragon King's hall. When Wang Xian arrived at the Dragon King's hall, he realized that there were not many people in the entire Dragon King's hall. Dragon King. When Lady Ao saw him return, she immediately swam over and called out respectfully. "Lady Ao, where are the Dragon Queen and Prime Minister Gui?" Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and asked directly. "Dragon King, the Dragon Queen, Prime Minister Gui, and Emperor Phoenix are currently at the ruins of the Divine Kingdom." Ao Nu answered immediately. "The ruins of the Divine Kingdom? What happened?" Wang Xian asked immediately. "During the year and a half since you left, Dragon King, there were huge changes at the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. The Wuji Empire opened the secret realm in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom and obtained huge resources from it. The two patriarchs of the Wuji dynasty broke through to the half-step to the realm of longevity. They subdued the Lone Sect and the Southern royal family directly. The two patriarchs of the Wuji dynasty wanted to destroy the Dragon Phoenix dynasty. Little Blue, who had consumed the Life Stone, also broke through to the half-step to the realm of longevity and resisted them. Later, the Phoenix Emperor also had a breakthrough. She was not at a disadvantage when facing the two patriarchs of the Wuji dynasty. Therefore, the battle was moved to the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. Some parts of the ruins of the Divine Kingdom were opened up by the Wuji Empire. Now, Prime Minister Gui is leading the members of the Dragon Palace to search for resources with the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. But recently, the Wuji Empire seems to have found the entrance to the main hall of the Divine Kingdom. Ao Nu introduced to Wang Xian. "The ruins of the Divine Kingdom have been opened up." Wang Xian revealed a surprised expression. The ruins of the Divine Kingdom in the vast region was the most precious land in the entire vast region and even the transcendent continent. Although the entire ruins of the Divine Kingdom could not be compared to the 10-fingered divine peaks of the Nine-God Empire, it was not much weaker. The sacred land of the Fire Cloud Sparrow, the Fire Cloud Mountain Range, the Life and Death Herb Garden, and the Weapon Peaks could not be compared to the ruins of the Divine Kingdom at all. According to Wang Xian's understanding, the owner of the entire ruins of the Divine Kingdom should be at the 9th level of longevity or in existence who was about to step into the realm of God after igniting the divine fires. After all, to be able to build a divine kingdom, even if it was just a ruin, it was still extremely terrifying. "I heard from the leaders that it is about to be opened," Ao Nu said with some uncertainty. "I'll go over first." Wang Xian moved his body and flew out of the Dragon Palace, heading towards the direction of the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. The distance from the ruins of the Divine Kingdom to the Dragon Palace was not very far. With his speed, he could reach it in more than an hour. Boom, boom, boom. When he approached the ruins of the Kingdom of God, waves of terrifying dark energy came from the inside of the ruins. The powerful force made even Wang Xian fearful. What a powerful aura! It seems that the ruins of the Kingdom of God have really been opened. Wang Xian had a solemn expression on his face as he looked towards the front of the ruins of the Kingdom of God. At this moment, the position in front of the ruins of the Kingdom of God had undergone a huge change from when he left. The ruins of the Kingdom of God that were originally occupied by various factions had now become two cities that faced each other from afar. Each city was protected by a powerful array formation. There were also powerful weapons that Wang Xian was more familiar with in one of the cities. It was the mechanical blueprint that the Fire Lark tribe had sent over. It was a weapon that could kill a top-notch expert in the dimension-sundering realm. The two cities were rather simple and crude. There were many buildings that had not been built properly. Wang Xian moved his body and flew towards the city with the words Dragon and Phoenix written on it. He swept his gaze over and realized that Guan Shuqing and the other girls were not inside. Are they inside? He did not enter the city but flew towards the ruins of the Kingdom of God. After flying for more than 10 kilometers, he saw mercenary groups flying out. The struggle inside is too intense. It will be dangerous if we enter again. I heard that the entire ruins of the Kingdom of God will be opened soon. Oh my God, once the ruins of the Kingdom of God are opened, whichever side obtains it will rule the entire vast region. In the current situation, the Wuji Empire is at an absolute advantage. After all, they have explored the ruins of the Divine Kingdom for close to 10,000 years. And this time, they are able to open it all because of the Wuji Empire. It's very possible. After all, the Dragon Phoenix Empire has only been in the vast region for a year. Their foundations are completely incomparable to the Wuji Empire. Once the Wuji Empire obtains the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, they will definitely destroy the Dragon Phoenix Empire immediately. Who knows, the Wuji Empire might be able to establish an empire. It's very possible. It's been rumored for a long time that any faction that can control the ruins of the Divine Kingdom would be able to establish an empire. This is an empire. While flying in the air, Wang Xian heard the conversations of a few hundred people from the mercenary group in front of him. Hearing their discussions, Wang Xian paused for a moment and frowned slightly. Get out of the way. Just as Wang Xian stopped in midair, a cold shout came from behind. It's the newly established dark martial arts of the Wuji Empire. Let's get out of the way. But that's the Crown Prince of the Wuji Empire, Wuqing City. Recently, the Crown Prince of Wuqing City has been in the limelight. The Crown Prince of Wuqing City has obtained a great opportunity in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. His strength has directly risen to the 8th level of the see-through realm. I heard that he even has the ability to control the soul of darkness. It's too heaven-defying. In the past few days, the Crown Prince of Wuqing City has been awe-inspiring. He single-handedly killed dozens of Dragon and Phoenix Empire's insightful void-tier experts. No one can match him. Hearing the cold shout from behind, the members of the mercenary group hurriedly respectfully made way for him. A group of more than 20 middle-aged men dressed in black flew forward. The leader was the powerful and handsome Crown Prince of Wuqing City. He had a dignified look on his face. He was like the son of heaven. Compared to the previous Crown Prince, the current him was even more confident and powerful. The aura of an emperor had already been formed. When Wuqing City flew forward expressionlessly, he suddenly raised his eyebrows when he saw the figure in the sky. Chapter 1711. 1711 1711. I am no longer the person I used to be. Your Highness, what is it? In the void in front of the Divine Kingdom ruins, Wu Qingcheng's figure suddenly stopped. The two elders beside him were slightly stunned and immediately asked, I met an acquaintance. Wu Qingcheng's gaze flickered as he stared expressionlessly at the figure in front of him. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly as he raised his head slightly, revealing a confident expression. An acquaintance. The people behind Wu Qingcheng were slightly taken aback. They followed his gaze and looked in the direction of the figure in front of them. That's the Sky Demon. It's the Sky Demon. It's him. It's the Sky Demon. The middle-aged elders behind Wu Qingcheng were slightly taken aback when they saw Wang Xian floating in the sky. Following that, their pupils contracted slightly as they revealed a nervous expression. Clang, 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 clang. They immediately picked up the weapons in their hands and beads of cold sweat appeared on their foreheads. As experts from the Wuji Empire, they were naturally very familiar with the figure in front of them. The name of the Sky Demon once shook the entire vast region. The Sky Demon once caused half of the expedition armies of the three major factions in the vast region to be lost. The Sky Fiend had once caused the three major factions to submit and split the vast region in half. The vast region had become the current situation because of the Sky Fiend. A heaven-defying and incomparably terrifying expert. Now that they saw the Sky Fiend suddenly appear before their eyes, the fear that came from the bottom of their hearts rushed to their hearts as they stared at him with a face full of nervousness and vigilance. What? That's the Sky Fiend. Oh my God, it really is the Sky Demon. I recognize this figure. It's the Sky Demon. The Sky Demon has actually appeared. He hasn't appeared in the battle for more than a year. What is he doing here this time? Hiss, the Sky Demon has actually bumped into the Crown Prince of Wuqing City. The surrounding members of the mercenary group looked over. They also had shocked expressions on their faces as their pupils constricted. The name of the sky demon was like thunder in one's ears. Wang Xian also saw the group of people from Wuqing City. At this moment he was sizing him up curiously. Sky demon, I didn't expect to meet you here. Wuqing City looked at Wang Xian. There was no fear on his face as he said faintly. Hee, your luck is really not good. Wang Xian looked at Wuqing City and shook his head faintly. 2 years ago I saved your life. Today, take it back. Crown Prince, you should leave first. Your Highness, be careful. Upon hearing Wang Xian's words, the subordinates behind Wu Qingqing said anxiously. The sky demon wants to kill Wu Qingqing. It's over. Wu Qingqing actually met the sky demon here. It's over. The people from the surrounding mercenary groups were also slightly shocked. Sky demon, do you think my Wu Qingqing is still the same as before? However, at this moment, Wu Qing City laughed out loud, and his face was filled with a willful expression. In the past, your sky demon was the person that my Wu Qing City respected the most. You possess strength that even I look up to at such a young age. With your own strength, you made our Wu Ji Empire lower its head. You are truly unparalleled in the world. The dark energy on Wu Qing City's body surged up, and his face was filled with excitement. The aura of an expert at level 8 of the see-through realm filled the surroundings. It was extremely powerful. Oh, I'm the one who gave you this life. It's only right for you to respect me. Wang Xian looked at Wu Qingqing's strange behavior. He raised his eyebrows and said with a smile. That's right. You're the one who gave me this life. If it wasn't for your sky demon expelling the dark soul in my body, I might have already died. Wu Qingqing was still laughing. Here, I would like to thank you again for saving my life. As he spoke, he bowed deeply to Wang Xian. After bowing, he stood up slowly. A strong desire to fight shot out from Wu Qingqing's eyes. However, you shouldn't have done that. You sky demon shouldn't have made an enemy out of our Wuji Empire. You shouldn't have killed our patriarch. So today I will personally kill you. I want to let the entire vast region know Wuqing City can suppress the sky demon, he said with a grim smile on his face, more excited. An exhilaration that could slay the demons of the vast and mighty. Wuqing City of a number of men and the surrounding mercenary group looked at this scene with a stunned face. This was Wuqing City crazy. He was only at level 8 of the see-through void tier. A year and a half ago, the sky demon was already able to kill a level 9 of the see-through void tier. Now, even if the sky demon's strength didn't increase, it could still easily crush him. What about the crown prince of Wuqing City? With just you. Wang Xian looked at the excited Wuqing City and revealed a teasing expression. That's right. Just me. Today, I will let you experience the current Wuqing City and the current me. A strong sense of confidence came from Wuqing City. Prepare to die. After I destroy you, the Dragon Phoenix Empire and your Dragon Palace will be destroyed. In the future, the entire vast region will belong to our Wuji Empire. Wu Qingqing licked his lips excitedly as waves of demonic qi flowed out of his body. The demonic qi flowing out of his body was a bit strange. It was as if the demonic qi had a life of its own. The demonic qi started to condense in front of him and finally condensed into a human-shaped shadow. Terrifying roars sounded from the dark shadow as a violent and bloody aura rushed out in all directions. This is? The subordinates standing behind Wu Qingqing flew backwards with pale faces. That violent and bloody aura made their faces extremely pale as they looked at the crown prince in shock. What a terrifying aura! Is this the dark soul? What a powerful dark soul! What grade is this? Oh my God! The members of the mercenary group who were not far away also retreated backward in fear. As they felt the terrifying aura of the darkness soul, their faces turned extremely pale. Priest Wang, are you familiar with it? Darkness soul, A half-step to longevity-level darkness soul. Ha! Wu Qingqing stared at the darkness soul in front of him and stared at Wang Xian mockingly. I wonder if you have the ability to deal with a half-step to longevity-level darkness soul. I obtained this soul of darkness 2 hours ago with a great opportunity. It can be incorporated into my body and be used by me. Even an expert who is half a step away from the longevity level can kill it with the special characteristics of the soul of darkness. Therefore, Sky Demon, even if you have reached half a step away from the longevity level, you must die today. You must die too. The last 4 words reverberated within a radius of tens of kilometers. Our crown prince has obtained such a terrifying soul of darkness. It's too powerful. Ha! No wonder the crown prince is so confident. With this soul of darkness, our crown prince can definitely kill the sky demon today. After today, the entire vast region will be shaken. Chapter 1712. 1712 was like a god and a demon. The crown prince of Wuqing City is actually able to obtain such a great opportunity. Heavens, in the future, who will be able to stop him? Who would have thought that the invincible sky demon would be killed by the crown prince of Wuqing City? Who would have thought? It seems that Wuji dynasty is about to rise up completely. I reckon that it won't be long before the entire vast region will be ruled by them. In the surrounding area, the members of the mercenary group also roared in a low voice, their faces filled with shock. They had never expected that the crown prince of Wuqing City would be able to control a terrifying half-step to longevity soul of darkness. The current Wuqing City was only around 50 years old. With such terrifying strength and opportunities at the age of 50 years old, even if it was placed in the entire transcendental continent, it would still be an exceptionally terrifying existence. And today, if Wuqing City were to kill the sky demon again, the entire vast region would become his legend. Wuqing City, you are really confident. Wang Xian looked at Wuqing City, who was staring at him with an excited and malevolent expression. A faint sneer appeared on his face. The sky demon, don't even think about escaping today. Wuqing City laughed out loud. His body shook and waves of powerful demonic chi were activated instantly. Darkness soul, listen to my command. Kill him. He roared and waved his arm. The darkness soul in front of him opened its white pupils. It had a pitch-black body and a pair of pale white pupils. The entire darkness soul emitted a strange and terrifying aura. Die! His gaze was locked onto Wang Xian. His figure flashed and he attacked Wang Xian directly. Sky demon, after I kill you, I will stand at the top of the entire vast region. Wu Qingcheng was so excited that his body was trembling when he saw the darkness soul making a move. He stared at it intently. Do you guys think that Sky Demon is a match for the darkness soul of the Crown Prince of Wuqing City? It's not like you don't know how powerful the darkness soul is. Even if the strength of Sky Demon has broken through to half-step longevity realm in the past year and a half, he wouldn't be a match for the darkness soul. After all, the darkness soul is very special and strange. The people from the mercenary group at the side watched in astonishment when they saw the soul of darkness making a move. It wants to kill me. Wang Xian listened to Wu Qingqing's low growl and the discussion of the members of the mercenary group. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly. He stared at the soul of darkness in front of him indifferently. His eyes were filled with contempt. Not to mention that he had the strength of level 3 Wanshou. Even if he also had half-step Wanshou, this soul of darkness was not a match for him. Seeing that the darkness soul was already more than 10 meters away from him, Wang Xian slowly raised his arm. Buzz! A shadow of the yin-yang taiji pattern appeared in front of his palm. The yin-yang taiji slowly circulated. Die! The darkness soul roared ferociously. Its pale eyes were filled with killing intent. However, at this moment, the powerful, terrifying and violent darkness soul was directly absorbed by the yin-yang taiji. In just an instant, the soul of darkness turned into a pure energy and entered the heart of darkness. Wang Xian took a look and realized that it had turned into a stream of dragon qi. A faint smile appeared on his face. What? An unbelievable roar came from the front. Wang Xian raised his head and looked at Wuqing City. At this moment, Wuqing City's excited face was completely frozen. He stared at Wang Xian in disbelief. No, this is impossible. This is impossible. He shook his head in disbelief and growled in a low voice. What the hell was going on? His powerful and invincible darkness soul. He had obtained the half-step longevity darkness soul under a great opportunity. He charged to the front of the Sky Demon. The Sky Demon merely stretched out his hand and his darkness soul vanished instantly. How was this possible? That was a half-step longevity soul. What's going on? What happened? Why did our Crown Prince's darkness soul directly disappear? The subordinates of Wuqing City also looked on in astonishment. As for the members of the mercenary group, they were already dumbfounded. Hee, you think that you can kill me just because you have a half-step into the longevity realm darkness soul? Wuqing Cheng, you are really stupid. I can save your life. Now, I will take it away. Wang Xian looked at Wuqing Cheng mockingly and slowly extended his palm. But an invisible gray palm instantly appeared on Wuqing Cheng's neck. The powerful force made him feel suffocated. He widened his eyes and stared at Wang Xian, who was standing there casually. His eyes were filled with fear. Die! Wang Xian said calmly as he clenched his arm gently. His grayish palm pressed down on his neck and exerted force gently. The sound of bones breaking was heard. Wu Qingqing's pupils dilated and his body trembled. His eyes were filled with panic and despair. No, don't kill me. I don't want to die yet. Don't kill me. A hoarse growl came out from his mouth. His eyes were filled with begging for mercy. He had just obtained a great opportunity. He was only in his 50s. In the future, he would definitely stand at the top of the supernatural continent. Now, why was the Sky Demon so terrifying? Why was the Invincible him now like an ant in front of the Sky Demon? How could this be? Before his death, Wuqing Cheng's mind was filled with countless questions and endless regret. Wang Xian took a glance at Wuqing Cheng's corpse indifferently. There was not the slightest fluctuation on his face. A mere 8th-level void interpretation realm expert, even if he had obtained a great opportunity, was still not worth mentioning in front of him. You actually killed our crown prince, you? At the back, Wuqing Cheng's subordinates looked at Wang Xian with fear on their faces. Their faces were filled with cold sweat. But Wang Xian waved his hand and streams of destructive power landed on their bodies. Following that, Wang Xian waved his arm and stored all the corpses into his interspatial ring. He glanced at the members of the mercenary group beside him indifferently. Then he moved and continued flying forward. Gulp. Seeing Wang Xian leave, the members of the mercenary group gulped and looked at each other in shock. How strong is the Sky Demon now? I don't know. With the strength of Wuqing City, I was already invincible in the vast region. I didn't expect that. I was killed in one move. From the beginning until the end, the Sky Demon stood there and didn't move a single step. With a wave of his hand, the half-step longevity soul of darkness was destroyed. Wuqing City was destroyed. This was definitely not something that a void interpretation stage powerhouse could do. Sky Demon, as expected of that invincible Sky Demon. Let's go to Dragon Phoenix City. Next, it might be the Dragon Phoenix Empire's world. The members of the mercenary group shouted in a low voice in fear. This was the first time they had seen such a terrifying expert. With one move, he destroyed the half-step longevity darkness soul. He was like a god and a demon. Chapter 1713 1713 Wuji Empire 1. I didn't expect the Wuji Empire to obtain so many resources in there. To think that Wuqing City could advance to the 8th level of the see-through void stage so quickly and control a half-step longevity level soul of darkness. Wang Xian continued to fly towards the interior of the ruins of the Kingdom of God. Soon, the entire ruins appeared in his line of sight. Compared to the past, many places with restrictions had been opened. The entire dark ruins was filled with the smell of blood. Woo woo woo. At this moment, a muffled roar came from the center of the ruins of the Kingdom of God. Wang Xian quickly looked over and saw a huge figure flying into the sky. There was a terrifying wound on his huge body. There were nearly 10,000 people hiding in his mouth. There was a gigantic black hole in the sky above him. He moved his body and entered the black hole directly. Xiaolan. Wang Xian looked at the gigantic figure and frowned slightly. Run. Where can you people from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire run to? I'm telling all of you to prepare to die. At this moment, a voice that was filled with sighs resounded throughout the entire ruins of the Divine Kingdom. The voice was filled with excitement. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes slightly. He could vaguely see a figure floating in the middle of the ruins of the Kingdom of God. Very soon, the army of our Wuji Empire will flatten your Dragon and Phoenix Empire. The voice filled with excitement and dignity continued to be heard. The figure in the center looked up at the black hole that had disappeared. His face was filled with a ghastly expression. Wang Xian's figure flashed and flew directly toward the center. In the center of the Kingdom of God's ruins, there was a dense cluster of buildings. The entire area below was completely blocked by the black buildings. When he flew over, the figure from earlier had already entered. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and moved his body. He wanted to enter the center. However, the indestructible buildings made it impossible for him to enter. What a strong material. It's definitely made from a rare material of the longevity level. A strange look flashed across Wang Xian's eyes. He circled around the ruins of the Kingdom of God. He didn't find anyone, not even the people from the Wuji Empire. How did the person from the Wuji Empire enter just now? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows. As expected of the ruins of the Kingdom of God. With my current strength, I can't even find the entrance. That's true. This ruins of the Kingdom of God has been standing here for hundreds of thousands of years. It's possible that the Dragon Emperor and the Dragon King of the Dragon race have come to investigate. Even so, it hasn't been cracked open. It's not something that I can enter easily. But now, it seems that the people from the Wuji Empire have found a way to enter. Wang Xian thought to himself. The Wuji Empire's solipsistic sect and the Southern royal family had searched for tens of thousands of years before they finally found a way to enter. Even if they found a way to enter the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, there's nothing to worry about. Let's go look for Shu Qing and the rest first. Wang Xian thought to himself and immediately flew out. His figure flashed and teleported a few hundred kilometers away. However, the moment Wang Xian left, more than 100 people appeared out of thin air above the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. These 100 people were dressed in the uniform of the Wuji Empire. At this moment, their faces were filled with excitement. Haha, the people from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire actually escaped. We have already obtained the entire ruins of the Divine Kingdom. With the resources in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, the Wuji Empire will soon be invincible in the world. When Patriarch Dark Eye and Patriarch Dark Ancient's strength rise to the demigod realm, it will be the time for the destruction of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. This time will soon arrive. Come, let's gather all the forces of the Wuji Empire and announce that the era of our Wuji Empire has arrived. More than 100 people were discussing excitedly. Nangong Wudi, the Dark Eye Elder admires your talent and ability. Right now, your harvest in the God Country ruins is second only to the Crown Prince of Wuqing City. If you perform well in the upcoming war, you will be second only to the Crown Prince among the younger generation. In the middle of more than 100 people, an elder from Wuji Empire said to a young man beside him. The young man was dressed in a light red flame costume. He wore gloves on his fists, and his eyes were filled with disdain. Don't worry, I, Nangong Wudi, am not weaker than the crown prince. Next, I will use my fists to open a path of invincibility. The youth's face revealed a strong sense of confidence. Let's go, gather all our strength and prepare to attack the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. The group of people moved and quickly flew out of the God Country ruins. At most 5 days, we will be able to break through to the Longevity Realm. The era of our Wuji Empire has arrived. Before long, our Wuji Empire will change its name to the Wuji Empire. When we break through, we will immediately announce the establishment of the Martial Pole Empire. In a towering building in the center of the God Nation ruins, 3 figures stood below the 3 black spheres. Excited voices came from their mouths. In the 3 2-meter-long spheres, 3 extremely terrifying darkness souls were sealed. The 3 human figures below were absorbing the energy of the dark souls and advancing to the Longevity Realm. In front of them, over 1,000 experts at the profound Void Realm were kneeling there. The leader was the supreme sect master of the solipsistic sect, the 2 ancestors of the Southern royal family. Ever since the Wuji Empire obtained the divine tree in the divine lake, the 2 ancestors of the Wuji Empire had made a breakthrough in their strength and immediately subdued the other 2 great factions in the vast region. Currently, there were only 2 factions in the vast region. One was the Wuji Empire, and the other was the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. However, very soon, there would only be 1 faction in the vast region. But in the Dragon and Phoenix City in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, Wang Xian's figure appeared out of thin air in the sky. The dragon eyes of the yin and yang 5 elements swept across, and the figures of Feng Yuan, Qingyu, Shu Qing, and the rest appeared in their line of sight. With a flash, he appeared directly in front of them. The Wuji Empire is now in complete control of the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. With the extremely powerful resources in the Divine Kingdom, it won't be long before their strength will completely suppress us. Sister Feng Yuan, what do you think we should do? That fellow, Xiao Xian, has been gone for a year and a half. His wife has been bullied and he still hasn't returned. This fellow. When Wang Xian's figure appeared in the room, a group of girls complained. This made the smile on his face stiffen. Ha! Ha! The first to react were Feng Yuan and Lan Qingyue, who were the strongest. Sensing the figure that suddenly appeared in the room, the 2 of them were slightly shocked. When they saw Wang Xian, their eyes revealed a trace of joy. Xiao Xian, you're finally here. Bastard, you still know to come back. Didn't you promise to come back within a year? Count how long you've been gone. That's right. Is there a beauty in the Central Continent region that attracted you and made you reluctant to come back? Chapter 1714. 1714 Wuji Empire 2. The grumbling voices made Wang Xian admit defeat with a smile. Seeing all the girls staring at him with angry eyes, he couldn't help but shrink his head. Ahem, there were some accidents along the way. Some accidents. Wang Xian laughed dryly. Come, my beautiful ladies. Look at the gifts I brought you. Ahem, it wasn't easy for me to get these. Wang Xian took out the jewelry that he had prepared earlier and took them out one by one. Old routine. The ladies rolled their eyes at him. However, when they saw the glowing and extremely beautiful jewelry, their eyes were filled with love as they took it. Don't think that these items can get rid of your crimes. That's right. You are free and unfettered outside while we are suffering and being bullied here. After the group of girls put on their jewelry happily, they started to criticize again. Whoever dares to make you suffer and suffer, whoever dares to bully you, I'll take care of them. Wang Xian immediately patted his chest and promised with a smile on his face. We'll teach you a good lesson later. Xiao Xian, since you're here, do you understand the current situation in the vast region? Lan Qingyue asked Wang Xian. I understand a little, but I'm still not clear about the specific situation. Wang Xian shook his head and sat at the side. The group of girls were also sitting at the side, looking at Feng Yuan. Our current situation is not optimistic. We didn't expect that not long after you left, the ruins of the Divine Kingdom would be slowly opened. Fortunately, we discovered it in time and fought with the Wuji Empire. However, not long ago, the Wuji Empire had completely occupied the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. With the huge amount of resources in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, it was sufficient to create a longevity-level powerhouse. After all, that was an inheritance left behind by a powerhouse close to the level of a god. Feng Yuan pondered for a moment and said to Wang Xian, "Currently, there are 4 to 5 half-step longevity-level powerhouses in the Wuji Empire. This time, Xiao Lan risked her life to escape from the ruins of the Divine Kingdom." Lan Qingyue added, "Once the strength of the Wuji Empire grows stronger, or if they give birth to a longevity-level powerhouse, they will definitely take action to destroy the Dragon and Phoenix Empire and deal with our Dragon Palace. I went to the ruins of the Divine Kingdom just now, but I couldn't enter." Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and said from the side, "If you want to get in, you need to master some kind of supreme treasure. After you master it, you can teleport directly into it." Feng Yuan said as she looked at Wang Xian, "Xiao Xian, have you reached the realm of longevity?" "That's right. How is it? Isn't it amazing?" Wang Xian said proudly to Feng Yuan, "Now that you have reached the realm of longevity, we are much more at ease. When the Wuji Empire attacks us, we will be able to defend against them." Feng Yuan rolled her eyes at him. "It seems that you guys are not too surprised that I have broken through to the realm of longevity." Wang Xian asked in puzzlement when he saw that the group of girls did not show any signs of change. "It was the people from the Fire Cloud Sparrow tribe who told us." Lan Qingyue smiled at him. After the Fire Cloud Sparrows war ended, Feng Yun used a secret method to send the Heaven's Pride and experts from the 2 factions affiliated to the Fire Cloud Sparrow. There are 3 experts at level 9 and 10 at level 8 of the Void Interpretation stage, as well as more than 100 Void Interpretation stage experts from the young elites like the Heaven's Pride Su Xingsan. We got some information from them. Feng Yuan explained to Wang Xian. "Oh, I see." Wang Xian nodded his head and said with a twinkle in his eyes, "I was planning to kill the people from the Wuji Empire, but I couldn't enter the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. I could only wait for them to come out. I don't think the Wuji Empire will wait for long. Once one of them breaks through to the longevity realm, they will definitely send an army to destroy us." Feng Yuan guessed. "Then we will wait for them to attack us. We can capture them all at once. We don't have to go through so much trouble." Wang Xian smiled and said calmly, "Little Xian, are you confident?" The group of girls stared at Wang Xian and asked, "Don't worry. Don't you guys believe me?" Wang Xian smiled confidently and looked at Prime Minister Gui. "Prime Minister Gui, bring the members of the Dragon Palace. We will return to the Dragon Palace first. It's the Dragon King." Prime Minister Gui nodded. "Feng Yuan, are you going back?" Wang Xian looked at Feng Yuan. "No, you guys can go back first." "Xiao Xian, you guys can go back first. I will stay here to accompany Sister Feng Yuan. If anything happens, I can control Xiao Lan to deal with it." Feng Yuan shook her head while Lan Qingyue said from the side, "All right, inform me immediately if anything happens. I will be back soon." Wang Xian nodded his head. "Okay." Feng Yuan, Lan Qingyue and the rest nodded their heads. "Let's go." Wang Xian gestured to the group of girls and Prime Minister Ge. Following that, Prime Minister Ge led all the members of the Dragon Palace to follow Wang Xian as they flew towards the Dragon Palace. Prime Minister Ge, call all the members of the Dragon Palace to the Dragon Transformation Pool. As Wang Xian spoke, he flew directly to the side of the Dragon Transformation Pool. With a movement of his storage spiritual bag, Ao Yao and the rest of the strange demons who had been inside flew out. Following that, Wang Xian placed the corpses beside him. They were absorbed by the dragon transformation pool and converted into dragon blood. There were more than 9,000 corpses of the insightful void tier. Among them, there were quite a number of those who were at the 8th or 9th level of the half-step Wansho insightful void tier. The two first-rank corpses belonged to the medicine master and the weapon master respectively. As for the corpses below the void interpretation level, there were close to 200,000 of them. These corpses were all transcendent level 7th rank and above. After all, these corpses were second only to the Empire's Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop's power. Little Xian, how can you have so many corpses? Moreover, these corpses' cultivation is so high. The group of girls at the side looked at the corpses one by one with a look of shock on their faces. Prime Minister Gue and the group of leaders of the Dragon Palace were staring at the corpses with glowing eyes. With such a terrifying number of corpses, one could convert a huge amount of dragon blood into dragon blood. The overall strength of the entire Dragon Palace could be raised by 1 or 2 levels. These are the core experts of the Life and Death Elixir Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop. Wang Xian said with a smile as he swept his gaze across the members of the Dragon Palace. The current Dragon Palace had improved a lot in terms of strength a year and a half before he left. Out of more than 20,000 members, there were already 13,000 who had reached the Insightful Void stage. Although they were only at the first level of the Insightful Void stage, the sheer number of them was terrifying enough. However, even though there were more experts at the Insightful Void stage, there were fewer who possessed combat strength above the 5th level of the Insightful Void stage. In the entire Dragon Palace, there were only a few dozens of experts who were above the 5th level of the Insightful Void stage, not including the strange demons. I must increase the strength of the top-notch Insightful Void stage experts. Wang Xian thought to himself. He immediately ordered the leaders and members of the Dragon Palace to enter the Dragon Pool. I wonder how strong the Dragon Palace's strength will be after this upgrade. The corners of Wang Xian's mouth curled up slightly as he stood quietly beside the Dragon Pool. Chapter 1715 1715 Wuji Empire 3 Boom, boom, boom. At the location of the Dragon Transformation Pool of the Dragon Palace, streams of powerful aura surged up continuously. In just 2 days, the strength of the members of the Dragon Palace was improving at a terrifying speed. During these 2 days, Wang Xian had gone back and forth to the ruins of the Divine Kingdom twice. The rest of his time was spent with Guan Shuqing and the other girls. The few girls were at the 8th level of the See-Through Realm, which was comparable to the 9th level of the See-Through Realm. They were not weak. It was also because of them that the entire Dragon and Phoenix Empire was supported. Otherwise, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire would be much weaker than the Wuji Empire in terms of combat strength. However, in the past 2 days, there were huge changes in the entire vast region. Under the Wuji Empire's banner, all the experts and all the legions had rushed to the interior of the Divine Kingdom ruins. At that time, a massive array had enveloped hundreds of thousands of people within the array. This matter shocked the entire vast region. At this moment, everyone knew that the Divine Kingdom ruins had been completely occupied by the Wuji Empire. In fact, the Wuji Empire had already taken control of the entire Divine Kingdom ruins. This caused everyone in the vast region to reveal shocked expressions. The Divine Kingdom ruins had existed for too long, so long that it could not be measured with time. There were at least dozens of legends regarding the Divine Kingdom ruins in the vast region. These rumors attracted the experts of the entire continent to come over. However, no expert could open it. Now that the Wuji Empire had opened the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, it would definitely cause a huge sensation. This caused all the citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire to panic. If the Wuji Empire really controlled the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, then their Dragon and Phoenix Empire would definitely be destroyed. And as the citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, they would definitely be affected by the war. However, When the citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire saw that the Empress and the army did not leave the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, they felt a little more at ease. Reporting to the Dragon King, all the disciples of the Dragon Palace have improved their strength. On the 5th day, Prime Minister Gue and the leaders of the Dragon Palace walked into the Dragon King's palace and reported to Wang Xian. Gather all the members in the Dragon Field. Wang Xian was delighted and immediately ordered loudly. It's the Dragon King. Prime Minister Gue and the leaders immediately nodded respectfully. Xiao Xian, let's go and take a look too. The group of girls also walked towards the Dragon Field with curiosity. The improvement of the Dragon Palace this time was a qualitative change. Wang Xian nodded with a smile and swam towards the Dragon Field with the group of girls. When he arrived at the Dragon Field, everyone in the Dragon Palace, including the non-combatants, were gathered there. Greetings, Dragon King. Greetings, Dragon Queen. Upon seeing Wang Xian and Guan Shuqing's arrival, all the members of the Dragon Palace, led by Prime Minister Gue, knelt on the ground and greeted him. A deafening voice reverberated throughout the entire Dragon Palace. All the disciples of the Dragon Palace, stand up. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the more than 20,000 members of the Dragon Palace and said faintly, "Thank you, Dragon King." All the disciples of the Dragon Palace stood up. Generals, please introduce the strength of each combat division to the Dragon King. Prime Minister Gue said to the leaders of the Dragon Palace at the side. It's Prime Minister Gue. Reporting to Dragon King, 4,500 warriors of the Mount Department, Level 1. Reporting to Dragon King, 1,500 warriors of the Dragon Spur Department, Level 1. Reporting to Dragon King, 1,500 warriors of the Heavenly Eye Arrow Division. Reporting to Dragon King, 1,000 warriors of the Dolphin Clan. Reporting to Dragon King, 1,500 warriors of the Golden Swordfish of the Dragon Guard. Reporting to Dragon King, 1,000 warriors of the Poison-Making Department. Reporting to Dragon King, 2,100 members of the Forging Department of the Fire Hammer Clan. Reporting to Dragon King, 400 members of the civil officials of the Dragon Palace and the members who manage the Dragon Palace. The data is only listed this time. It will be rarely listed in the future to prevent suspicion of the number of characters in the water. One by one, the leaders of the Dragon Palace took a step forward and reported loudly. In fact, Wang Xian could sense everyone's strength at a glance without them reporting. Currently, there were more than 20,000 disciples in the entire Dragon Palace. Other than the civil servants and some members of the Fire Hammer Clan, there were 18,000 people in the Insightful Emptiness realm. Among the 18,000 people, there were 12 people who had the combat strength of Half-Step Wansho, which was the leaders of various departments. They were able to advance to Half-Step Wansho, and most of their energy came from the corpses of the Weapon Master and the Medicine Master, as well as all the corpses of the Half-Step Wansho realm. Only then did 12 Half-Step Wansho realm corpses pile up. As for the 9th level of the Profound Void realm, there were 50 of them. Among them, there were AO crabs with tens of thousands of little crabs in their bodies, and 9 dragon mounts. There were only 58th, 7th, and 6th level of the Profound Void tier. As for the 5th level of the Profound Void tier, there were more, 490 strange demons. There were 204th level of the Profound Void tier. There were 403rd level of the Profound Void tier. The rest all had the combat strength of the 2nd level of the Profound Void tier. After all the members of the Dragon Palace were able to fight against those of a higher level, but in terms of true cultivation, they were all one level lower. With the current strength of the Dragon Palace, the combat strength of those at the peak of the see-through realm was still not much. This was because the resources were insufficient to produce more top-notch see-through realm experts. Xiao Xian, with the current strength of our Dragon Palace, aren't we an almost invincible existence in the Transcendence continent? When the group of girls heard the report from the leaders of the Dragon Palace, their eyes were filled with excitement as they asked. There's still a long way to go. Wang Xian shook his head slowly. Ever since he understood the strength of the Dragon Clan and the fact that he almost lost to 2 Dragon Emperors, he had already restrained the pride in his heart. Moreover, there were more than 5,000 longevity-level powerhouses of the Dragon Clan. The Dragon Palace was still a long way to go. This is already very impressive. With the strength of our Dragon Palace, we can completely unify the entire vast region. The group of girls said with a smile. All members of the Dragon Palace, work hard. We are very strong now, but the gap between us and the dragons on the mainland is still huge. My goal is to use 10 years to make our Dragon Palace stand at the top of the extraordinary mainland. Now that 6 years have passed, there are still 4 more years. Wang Xian said to all the members of the Dragon Palace. You will definitely live up to the Dragon King's expectations. All the members of the Dragon Palace immediately shouted loudly. All right. Wang Xian nodded his head in satisfaction. Reporting to the Dragon King, the Dragon Queen from the ruins of the Divine Kingdom has sent news that the Dragon and Phoenix Empire will announce an important news tomorrow. They claim that this news will enter the history of the vast region and the history of the entire extraordinary mainland. At that moment, a member of the Divine Kingdom's ruins rode on a phoenix dragon mount and came to report. Chapter 1716 1716 Wuji Empire 4. Oh, does the Wuji Empire have something to announce? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and looked deep in thoughts. What could be recorded in the history of the vast region and the history of the supernatural continent? Didn't they just take control of the ruins of the Divine Kingdom? Our Dragon Palace is not afraid of them. A few girls raised their eyebrows and spoke angrily when they heard the report. Dragon King, do you want our members of the Dragon Palace to head to the vast area immediately? Prime Minister Gui asked Wang Xian. The 11 of you can head over. The rest of you don't have to. They are not qualified to send all of us to the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled as he spoke directly to Prime Minister Gui and the rest. It's the Dragon King. Prime Minister Gui and the rest nodded. Let's go. Let's head over now. I want to know what the Wuji Empire has to announce that they have such a big tone. Wang Xian said faintly. He brought along a group of girls and the 11 half-step longevity leaders of the Dragon Palace besides Prime Minister Gui. Currently, he could not enter the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. Currently, Wang Xian had been waiting for the people from the Wuji Empire to come out. From the looks of it, they were already prepared to come out tomorrow. It's good that you came out. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly. He wanted to see what tricks the Wuji Empire could play. They flew quickly and arrived at the central mansion. Xiao Xian, you're here. Upon seeing Wang Xian flying over, Feng Wan and Lan Qingyue stood up with smiles on their faces. Young Master Wang. Lord Wang. In the hall, a group of important ministers of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire who were seated immediately stood up and greeted Wang Xian respectfully. Wang Xian nodded at them and swept his gaze across them. There were former ministers of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, Su Xingsan and the other members of the Fire Lark clan. What's the situation now? They only announced that they have an important announcement to make tomorrow. Is there nothing else? Wang Xian asked Feng Wan directly. Yes. Feng Wan nodded. They announced this matter to the entire vast region. Now, families and sects from the vast region have arrived at the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. Especially the factions within the Wuji Empire. All of them have arrived. I wonder what they are doing? They want to gather all the experts in the vast region at this time. As Feng Wan spoke, a solemn expression appeared on her face. The announcement of the Wuji Empire made the citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire and some of their family members anxious. Then let's see what they have to say tomorrow. Wang Xian smiled and said to Feng Wan. With you around, I feel much more assured. Feng Wan's tightly knitted brows relaxed as she smiled at Wang Xian. With Lord Wang around, we have nothing to be afraid of. That's right. As long as young Master Wang is around, what waves can a mere force in such a vast area cause? The important officials of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, Su Xingsan and the rest also spoke with confidence. Let's wait here. Wang Xian smiled at them. Everyone nodded. Time passed slowly. The next day arrived very quickly. In the morning, Wang Xian followed Feng Wan to the city wall of Dragon Phoenix City. Ao Qitian, Ao Jian, and the rest stood behind Wang Xian and the group of girls. Around them were the densely packed army of the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Thousands of insightful emptiness realm experts were standing there. Their eyes were looking at Wuji City in the distance. At this moment, in Wuji City, all the aristocratic families from the Wuji Empire region were gathered. Their city gates were wide open, and many people gathered outside the city gates, looking at the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. What tricks is the Wuji Empire playing? Didn't they just control the ruins of the Divine Kingdom? Our Dragon Phoenix Empire might not be afraid of them. That's right. Our Empress's strength is also very terrifying now. Look, Lord Wang is here. With Lord Wang here, even if he controls 2 ruins of the Divine Kingdom, he is still not our match. Around the city wall, some of the citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire stared at Wang Xian with burning eyes. In their hearts, Lord Wang was invincible. With Sir Wang around, the Dragon and Phoenix Empire would not be defeated. Wang Xian's arrival was undoubtedly a reassurance for them. Everyone, come here to welcome us. Just as they were discussing, a voice came from Wuji City ahead. Standing on the city wall of the Dragon and Phoenix City, they could hear it clearly. Let's go, let's go. I wonder what the king and the other powerhouses have to announce. Now that our king has control of the Divine Kingdom ruins, could it be that he wants to destroy the Dragon Phoenix Empire and unify the vast region? It's possible, it's very possible. In the future, the entire vast region will be our Wuji Empire's territory. Once the vast region is unified, our family clan will join the Wuji Empire. In Wuji City, everyone walked out. All the citizens were discussing excitedly. If the Wuji Empire could destroy the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, it would be of great benefit to them. There were at least 100,000 people standing outside the city gates. They looked towards the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, welcoming the arrival of the Wuji Empire's experts. I wonder what the Wuji Empire will announce. In Dragon Phoenix City, there were many experts from aristocratic families and mercenary groups who had rushed over after hearing the news. They looked into the distance, waiting, so that they could respond to the unexpected events that would happen next. Everyone looked towards the direction of the ruins of the Divine Kingdom. At noon, the sun was high in the sky. The dark energy in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom was still extremely dense. From afar, it looked like an abyss. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, the sound of tens of thousands of horses galloping came from the God Country ruins. It's coming. Everyone's hearts trembled as they stared intently in the direction of the God Country ruins. At this moment, an earth-shattering beast roar was heard. Numerous ice-cold eyes appeared in everyone's line of sight. This is... Everyone's eyes widened as they stared at the spot in front of them in shock. 10,000 beasts were sprinting. Many shadow wolves were sprinting towards them. Above the shadow wolves sat many insightful void tier experts. The leader was the Wuji Empire's king and 2 ancestors. Shadow wolves, the largest dark demonic beast race in the Divine Kingdom forest. It is said that the most powerful shadow wolves have the strength of the longevity realm. A cry of surprise sounded. Looking at the Wuji Empire experts who were running out from the God Nation ruins, everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. This seemed to be a powerful army from the abyss. Look behind you, it is the heavenly moat demon beast race, it is the heavenly moat demon. Oh my god, all the demon beast races in the God Nation forest are controlled by the Wuji Empire. Shocked voices sounded one after another. In the God Nation ruins, more than 200,000 people, along with more than 200,000 terrifying demonic beasts, instantly descended. The powerful and invincible aura made everyone tremble. Chapter 1717 1717 Wuji Empire 5. Is this the current strength of our Wuji Empire? All the creatures in the entire Divine Kingdom forest have been subdued. Oh my God! This is too unbelievable. After our Wuji Empire controlled the Divine Kingdom ruins, we actually have such terrifying power. In front of Wuji City, the family forces in the Wuji Empire region all had shocked expressions on their faces. They looked at the huge army in front of them, their faces filled with excitement and excitement. What a terrifying aura! The Wuji Empire actually subdued the demonic beast races around the Divine Kingdom ruins. Oh my God. The demonic beast races in the Divine Kingdom forest, there are at least 5,000 to 6,000 insightful void-level existences. There are more than 200,000 below the insightful void level. Oh no, their current strength is too terrifying. It's not something our Dragon Phoenix Empire can withstand. However, when the soldiers and citizens on the city walls in Dragon Phoenix City saw this scene, all of them had solemn and embarrassed expressions on their faces. Everyone knew that the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Wuji Empire had reached the point where they would fight to the death. Once one side became stronger, they would definitely destroy the other side. Now, looking at the powerful Wuji Empire army, everyone from the Dragon Phoenix Empire had shocked expressions on their faces. Even Feng Luan frowned slightly when she saw this scene, and her face was filled with a solemn expression. Boom boom boom. The shadow wolves galloped, and the entire army got closer and closer. Patriarch Wuji, the Wuji Nation Master, who was riding on the 3 10-meter-long shadow wolves, looked forward with pride. Their bodies contained a huge amount of energy. Half of the army of over 200,000 people were riding on their mounts, and they carried a powerful aura as they stopped in front of the God Country ruins. They were about 2,000 meters away from Wuji City. The king of Wuji Nation and the 2 patriarchs in the center waved their hands, and the entire army immediately stopped. No one made a sound. 3 low growls came out from the mouths of the black shadow wolves under them. They gradually floated in the sky, looking at everything in front of them with disdain. The people in front of Wuji City also quieted down, staring at the army of their dynasty with fiery eyes. Today, the king of Wuji Dynasty, Wuju, will announce 2 things again. The king of Wuji Empire stood in the center and his voice resounded throughout the sky. Listen to the holy words. Walala. When the king of Wuji Empire's voice rang out, more than 200,000 soldiers knelt on the ground. Listen to the holy words. In front of Wuji City, everyone felt the terrifying power and knelt on the ground. The king of Wuji Empire, who was floating in the sky, revealed a faint smile. Voila! Wuji King waved his arm, and the flag of Wuji Empire floated in the sky. First thing, today our Wuji Empire will abolish the name of Wuji Empire. As Wuji King spoke, he waved his arm, and the flag turned into ashes. What? Abolish the name of Wuji Empire? All the citizens and soldiers of Wuji Empire were shocked. They raised their heads and looked at the king of the Wuji Empire with doubt in their eyes. Second, today, I announce the establishment of the Wuji Empire. The Wuji Empire had been established. The final 4 words shocked everyone. Voila! An even more luxurious and majestic flag flew into the sky. The Wuji Empire has been established. From now on, the vast region will have its first empire. From now on, the transcendent continent's 6th great empire will be established. Wuji Nation's king, Wujuding, raised his arms and roared loudly with burning eyes. Boom, boom, boom. At the same time, an unparalleled aura was emitted from Wujuding's body. His aura was like a prison that blotted out the sky and covered the earth. What? When they heard Wu Juding's words and felt his powerful aura, everyone's faces revealed a shocked expression. Wuji Empire! Wuji Empire! The people in Wuji City revealed a shocked and crazy expression. Our king actually wants to announce the establishment of an empire. If we want to establish an empire, we must have an expert of the longevity realm to oversee it, or even more than one. Oh my God, could it be that our king and the others have broken through to the longevity realm? The sixth great empire, the sixth great empire. According to the legends, if any faction was able to control the ruins of the divine kingdom, they would be able to give birth to an empire. Now, it seems that this is true, our king has broken through. Shock, disbelief, excitement. Following that, all the citizens of the Wuji Empire revealed excited expressions. This was an empire. Their Wuji Empire had actually been promoted to an empire. This was an incomparably glorious scene. This was a historical scene. The sixth great empire of the transcendental continent had been born in the past 3,000 years. This was a great honor for all the citizens of Wuji Empire. Roar, roar. At this moment, a roar filled with authority sounded out. From below, a shadow wolf directly flew into the sky. The 20-meter-long shadow wolf's eyes were filled with disdain. He floated beside the Wuji Empire's flag. Long live the Wuji Empire! Long live the Wuji Empire! Below, all the soldiers shouted excitedly. Long live the Wuji Empire! In front of Wuji City, all the citizens also shouted excitedly. A long-lived shadow wolf, how is this possible? Empire, the Wuji Empire actually announced that they have become an empire. How many long-lived experts do they have? Hearing these roars, all the people from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire revealed embarrassed and even despairing expressions. From the moment the demonic beasts in the Divine Kingdom Forest were subdued by the Wuji Empire, they had an ominous premonition in their hearts. Now, upon hearing the announcement of Wuji Pinnacle and sensing that powerful and invincible aura, everyone's hearts trembled. It's over, it's over. Wuji Pinnacle is definitely a longevity-level existence. That Shadow Mad Wolf is also a longevity-level existence. Our Dragon Phoenix Empire is finished. Heavens, at this time, what else can we use to defend against them? Empire, empire. Within Dragon Phoenix City, all the citizens looked ahead with ashen faces. There were 4,000 to 5,000 demon beasts above the void interpretation realm in the Divine Kingdom Forest, terrifying existences at the longevity realm, and a newly established empire. Within a short period of time, the Wuji Empire had become an empire, completely crushing the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Looking at the powerful Wuji Empire, they simply couldn't see any hope of winning. This is bad. There are two existences at the longevity realm. Feng Wan looked at Wu Juding and the Shadow Wolf with a solemn expression. All the soldiers of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire had ugly expressions on their faces. The gap was huge. Even those Su Xingzan and the rest who knew that Wang Xian had the longevity realm felt their hearts sink slightly. The other party had at least 2 longevity realm existences while they only had one on their side. Chapter 1718. 1718 1718 Star-seizing palm strikes. When the Wuji Empire was founded, its first goal was to unify the vast region. Wu Juding looked at the cheers of the soldiers and citizens, laughed loudly, and continued to announce, "Unify the vast region and destroy the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Unify the vast region and destroy the Dragon and Phoenix Empire." Excited shouts came from everyone's mouths, and their voices covered a radius of several thousand kilometers. In Dragon and Phoenix City, all the soldiers, important officials, and citizens paled when they heard these shouts. What should we do? What should we do? Should we surrender? If we don't surrender, we'll be finished. The opponent's strength is twice as strong as ours. Not to mention that there's a terrifying existence at the longevity level. It's been tens of thousands of years since a powerhouse at the longevity level appeared in our vast region. In the entire city, everyone's breathing was a little hurried. They clenched their fists tightly, and their eyes were a little powerless. One. At this moment, the winds and clouds changed once again, and a powerful force charged towards Dragon Phoenix City. Everyone felt their breathing stop. In front of them, Wu Juding and the others looked towards the direction of Dragon Phoenix City. Their figures slowly moved, and the entire army stood up, their eyes filled with madness and excitement as they stared at Dragon Phoenix City. They slowly approached. Destroy them, ha! Destroy them! Let everyone from the Dragon Phoenix Empire die, and capture their empress for blasphemy. Everyone in Wuji City also stood up. They immediately followed behind the army and roared loudly. The stronger the empire was, the more benefits they had. Roar, roar! The dark demonic beasts roared, and black clouds covered the entire sky. They slowly approached Dragon Phoenix City. Feeling this invincible aura, all the soldiers of the Dragon Phoenix Empire on the city wall gripped their weapons tightly, and cold sweat trickled down their backs. Wu Juding, are you here to declare war on us? Feng Wan's phoenix-like eyebrows were filled with coldness as she stared at Wu Juding and the others and asked coldly. Declare war. Now we'll give you a chance. Immediately open the city gates and everyone will kneel on the ground and surrender. Otherwise, all of you will die. Before Wu Juding and the others in the sky could speak, Nangong Jianghe spoke from below. Shut up. You don't have the right to speak when our empress speaks. A general shouted when he saw Nangong Jianghe speak. Ha! Do you think that the Dragon and Phoenix Empress still has the right to speak to our monarch? Now, your empress doesn't have the right to speak to our monarch. Nangong Jianghe laughed and shouted. How can a small empire be compared to the sixth great empire on our continent? Nangong Wudi's lips curled up as he shouted with excitement in his eyes. Wu Juding and the other two ancestors revealed proud smiles on their faces. The current Dragon Phoenix Empire was no longer qualified to speak to them on an equal footing. Their words instantly made all the important soldiers and officials on the Dragon Phoenix city wall look extremely embarrassed. HMH, don't think that you are the only ones who have the strength of the longevity level. When Guan Shuqing and the other girls saw the arrogant look on their faces, they were so angry that their little faces turned red. They looked at Wang Xian and shouted loudly. Ha! The words of the few girls caused Wu Juding, who was standing in the air, to be slightly stunned. His sharp and dignified gaze swept toward the city wall. His gaze slowly landed on Wang Xian. That's right. Our Lord Wang also possesses the strength of the longevity realm. Don't be so arrogant. A few important officials who knew about Wang Xian's strength also shouted loudly. At this moment, fear had already emerged in the hearts of all the soldiers of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. They had to announce Wang Xian's strength to raise their morale. What? Lord Wang has also reached the realm of longevity. Ha, I told you. As long as Lord Wang is around, our Dragon and Phoenix Empire will not fear anyone. Lord Wang has also broken through to the realm of longevity. Oh, that's great. As expected, when all the soldiers and citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire heard that Wang Xian had also reached the realm of longevity, they were all excited. They heaved a sigh of relief in their hearts. As long as they had experts in the realm of longevity, there was still hope for everything. Oh, Tianimo, you have actually reached the realm of longevity. A hint of shock flashed across Wu Juding's eyes as he stared at Wang Xian and asked coldly. Dark Pupil and the other patriarch also stared at Wang Xian. Isn't this a little out of your expectations? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and said with a faint smile. Yes, it is indeed out of our expectations. I really didn't expect you to break through to the realm of longevity. Wu Juding stared at Wang Xian and said in a slightly surprised tone. Below him, All the soldiers and citizens of the Wuji Empire were also looking at Wang Xian in shock. As expected of the Sky Demon who once suppressed the three major forces. Some people were filled with disbelief. Sky Demon, I and Tong have never admired anyone in my entire life. I only admire you. At such a young age, you are able to suppress us old fellows. Impressive. At this moment, Tong, who was standing beside Wu Ju, spoke slowly. When they heard Patriarch Dark Eye's words, everyone in the martial Pole Empire was also shocked. But suddenly, Patriarch Dark Eye spat out a word heavily. His eyes were filled with a crazed battle intent and tyranny. No matter how magnificent you are, no matter how insufferably proud you are, no matter how unprecedented you are, today, you must submit or die. As soon as Patriarch Dark Eye finished speaking, an aura that could suppress heaven and earth was emitted from his body. A pair of extremely cold eyes appeared in the sky, each of which was thousands of meters in size. Patriarch Dark Eye had used his domain. Since we dare to announce the establishment of the Wuji Empire, we naturally have to have the corresponding strength of the empire. Today, no one can stop us. The Invincible Wuji Empire. After Dark Eye Patriarch finished his words, another elder from the Wuji Empire said indifferently. As he spoke, the aura on his body kept rising. The invincible posture was undoubtedly revealed. Roar! The dark shadow Mad Wolf King roared, and it seemed as if the sky was trembling. Hiss! At this moment, everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Patriarch Dark Eye and Patriarch Wu Ming have also reached the realm of longevity. We have 4 longevity experts. At first, I thought that Patriarch Dark Eye and Patriarch Wu Ming hadn't broken through to the realm of longevity. It turns out that they have already broken through. Invincible, this is invincible. When everyone in Wuji Empire saw the imposing manner of Patriarch Dark Eye and Patriarch Wu Ming, they were all excited. Wuji Empire, invincible. Chapter 1719. 1719 1719 hands to pluck stars one by one. Oh my God, how could this be? Just how many treasures are there in the ruins of the Divine Kingdom? To think that 4 longevity experts could be directly born. It's over, it's over. We thought that with Lord Wang's presence, we would be able to withstand the opponent's attack, but the opponent actually has 4 longevity experts, 4 in all. Oh no, this. What else can our Dragon Phoenix Empire use to defend against this? Within Dragon Phoenix City, all the soldiers and citizens felt the terrifying aura charging over. The hope that had been ignited was extinguished once again. Compared to just now, they were even more despairing. For longevity experts, a total of 4. The entire Dragon Phoenix City's citizens began to panic. They nervously stared at the Empress and the soldiers on the city walls. There was no way they could fight in such a situation. If they didn't surrender, the consequences would be unimaginable. Oh no, how did it become like this? Damn it, damn it. At this moment, the hundreds of mercenary group members gathered in Dragon Phoenix City saw this scene and their faces were extremely ugly. They originally lived in Wuji City and were members of the mercenary group who hadn't joined any forces. When they saw the Sky Fiend kill the Crown Prince of Wuching City in one move, they immediately decided to head to Dragon Phoenix City after witnessing its terrifying strength. They had even decided to join the Dragon Phoenix Empire. This was because they had witnessed the power of the Sky Fiend and the invincibility of the Sky Fiend. For this reason, they had been somewhat complacent at the beginning. They thought that even if the Wuji Empire controlled the ruins of the Divine Kingdom, they would still not be a match for the Dragon Phoenix Empire in this war. Now they realized that they were wrong, and it was a huge mistake. This made all of them look extremely embarrassed. If the Dragon and Phoenix Empire doesn't surrender, won't we be finished? A leader of the mercenary group growled in a low voice with a gloomy face. No, The Dragon and Phoenix Empire will definitely surrender. They will definitely surrender. The rest of the members of the mercenary group kept consoling themselves as they spoke. Sky Demon, are you also very surprised? Wu Juding returned Wang Xian's words. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly as he stared at Wang Xian mockingly. I am very surprised. Wang Xian nodded his head. However, he was very surprised in his heart. He didn't expect that the ruins of the Divine Kingdom would produce 4 experts of the longevity level in such a short period of time. It seemed that the resources inside were absolutely terrifying. I'll give you 1 minute. Open the city gates, kneel, and submit. If you don't submit in 1 minute, everyone in Dragon Phoenix City will die, including you, Sky Demon. Wu Juding declared proudly at them. Hearing Wu Juding's words, the hearts of everyone in the Dragon Phoenix Empire sank. Their eyes were fixed on their empress, and their eyes were filled with complicated emotions. Feng Wan's phoenix eyes were extremely cold as she clenched her fists with all her might. Xiao Xian, I'm transforming into a phoenix now. I can fight against a longevity expert. With a gloomy face, she transmitted her voice to Wang Xian in a low voice. There's no need to surrender. Wang Xian shook his head indifferently and swept his gaze across everyone in the Wuji Empire. Surrender, Empress. We don't want to die. That's right. The Dragon and Phoenix Empire is no match for the Wuji Empire. Surrender. Suddenly, voices came from within the city. Some of the important officials of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire looked into the city angrily. Their eyes were filled with fury. Are you confident? Feng Wan ignored the voices in the city and continued to transmit her voice to Wang Xian. Don't worry, leave it to me. Wang Xian turned around and smiled at Feng Wan as he transmitted his voice. 30 seconds left. At this moment, Nangong Wudi, who was in front of the Wuji Empire's army, warned with a smile on his face. Empress, surrender. A terrified voice came from behind again. If any of you want to surrender, just fly out of the city. Those who are willing to fight with me will stay here. When Feng Wan received Wang Xian's reply, she felt much more at ease. She heard the voice behind her and said faintly, Empress, we are willing to fight with you. Even if we have to die, we will not betray you. That's right. If the Empress wants to fight, we will use our lives to fight. As soon as Feng Wan's voice fell, the voices of the soldiers and important officials rang out in the surroundings. A resolute expression appeared on their faces, and an aura that seemed as if they were ready to face death emanated from their bodies. When Feng Wan saw this scene, a trace of a smile appeared on her face. Go, go, go! However, within the city, when the several hundred members of the mercenary group heard these words, joy appeared on their faces. Their bodies moved, and they directly flew in the direction of the Martial Pole Empire. Seeing them fly out, some of the people in the city hesitated, and some followed closely behind. There were also people flying behind. Reporting to Emperor Wuji, reporting to the lords. The several hundred members of the mercenary group who had just flown out looked at each other, and an old man immediately bowed to Wu Juding and the others. 6 days ago, we saw the Sky Demon kill the Crown Prince of Wuqing City. The old man told Wu Juding and the others this news, trying to curry favor with the Wuji Empire. What? It was the Sky Demon who killed Cheng. Wu Juding was slightly stunned when he heard the old man's words. His face instantly darkened as he growled in a low voice with a face full of killing intent. Yes, we saw it with our own eyes. It was the Sky Demon who did it. The few hundred people hurriedly said, Good. I didn't expect that Cheng'er was killed by you, Sky Demon. Good. Wu Juding's slightly red eyes stared at Wang Xian as violent darkness surged around him. He's just a piece of trash. If you want to kill him, just kill him. Wang Xian glanced at the few hundred members of the mercenary group indifferently and said, Good. You dare to kill my Cheng. Today, I announce that everyone in the Dragon and Phoenix Empire must die." Wu Juding roared furiously. "Sky Demon, you should never have killed my son. Today, let's use the blood of everyone from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire to pay tribute to my son. Now, all of you no longer have the chance to submit. You can only die." Killing intent shot out from Dark Pupil's eyes as he said icily, "Attack. Leave no one from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire alive today." Wu Juding roared in rage as he gave the order. "Kill. Kill all of them. Avenge the Crown Prince. Kill." The order was given as a heaven-shaking killing intent sounded. "Get ready! Get ready!" On the city walls of Dragon Phoenix City, the expressions of the important officials changed drastically. They hurriedly shouted and prepared to counterattack. A powerful war was about to break out. A war was about to break out. "Die, Sky Demon. Today, I will suppress you under the ruins of the Divine Kingdom and enjoy endless pain." Dark Star. Wu Ju raised his arm and endless demonic chi soared into the sky. An extremely terrifying dark star condensed in the sky. The dark star that was dozens of kilometers wide was exuding an extremely terrifying aura. At this moment, the soldiers of the Dragon Phoenix Empire and the Wuji Empire were stunned. For the first time, they had witnessed the terror of the longevity level. Chapter 1720. 1721,720 star-plucking palms struck down. Boom. Boom. A deathly desolate and bloody aura came from the dark star within a range of 60 to 70 kilometers. The terrifying aura was so oppressive that it was difficult for one to breathe. Is this the terror of a longevity realm expert? Under this terrifying attack, who can survive? Heavens, this war doesn't even require us to act. With the Emperor Lord and the others, they can completely destroy the Dragon Phoenix Empire. Too strong, simply too strong. With a wave of his hand, a star-like attack floated in the sky. Is this something that a human can withstand? No wonder the longevity realm is also known as the demigod realm. Below the peak of Wuju, the soldiers and citizens of the Wuji Empire raised their heads to look at the dark stars in the sky, their hearts trembling. The army that was originally prepared to attack stopped, and they looked up in a daze. "Oh no, can our Lord Wang withstand such a terrifying attack?" Even if Lord Wang can withstand the Martial Supreme Emperor's attack, they still have 3 longevity experts. It's over, it's over. Despair appeared in the eyes of everyone from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire. Some of them even closed their eyes and clenched their fists tightly. It was up to fate. Xiao Xian. On the city wall, a group of girls were also staring at the dark star in the sky in astonishment. Their expressions changed slightly. They were staring at Wang Xian nervously. Wang Xian was the only one who didn't show any emotion on his face. He raised his head and looked at the dark star in the sky. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly. "Enjoy the fall of the star, Sky Demon." Wu Juding revealed a ferocious expression. He raised his arms and waved them forward. The entire dark star was like a star that fell from the sky. It attacked Wang Xian directly. Beside Wu Juding, Patriarch Dark Eye and Patriarch Wu Ming were looking at the entire Dragon and Phoenix City in front of them with cold expressions. They were looking down at Wang Xian. "You guys are really ignorant to dare to establish an empire with just 4 experts at the first level of longevity." Wang Xian looked at the dark stars that fell from the sky. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly and a look of contempt appeared on his face. Among the 5 empires, the 9 Gods Empire was the weakest. Even so, the 9 Gods Empire had more than 10 experts at the level of longevity. The Master of the 9 Gods, Mo Sha, and the former Master of the 9 Gods had the strength of the 4th level of longevity. The Wuji Empire was not qualified to be called an empire. As Wang Xian spoke, he waved his arm and his entire right arm instantly turned into a terrifying dragon claw. The dragon claw expanded at a terrifying speed and turned into a few thousand meters in size. A gray energy covered the surroundings of the dragon claw. Under the coverage of the gray energy of the 5 elements, a dragon claw that was also dozens of kilometers in size appeared. Upon seeing Wang Xian's dragon claw, Wu Juding's pupils contracted slightly. Under the shocked gazes of millions of people, Wang Xian's dragon claw landed on the dark star. The terrifying dragon claw grabbed lightly and the entire dark star exploded. What? Such a terrifying dark star was actually shattered by the sky demon's claw. As expected, the sky demon also has the strength of level 1 longevity. Moreover, it seems to be even stronger than the overlord of Wuji. The soldiers and citizens of the martial limit Imperial Lord sucked in a breath of cold air when they saw this scene. However, there wasn't the slightest trace of worry on their faces. Even if the Sky Demon managed to block their Imperial Lord's attack, their martial limit empire still had 3 existences at the Wanshou realm. In a situation of 4 against 1, they could completely crush the Sky Demon. Everyone's hearts were filled with confidence. We managed to block it, but can Sir Wang block the 4 of them? When everyone in the Dragon and Phoenix Empire saw this scene, they heaved a heavy sigh of relief. However, they were still worried. As expected of a Sky Demon, we really don't dare to let an enemy like you continue to develop. Therefore you must die today. Otherwise we won't feel at ease. When Patriarch Dark Eye saw Wang Xian easily blocking Wu Ju's attack, a 10-meter-long dark staff appeared in his hand. On the staff was a huge dark lotus. The entire staff emitted a terrifying power. I didn't expect that even if we were to break through to the longevity realm, we would still join forces to deal with the Sky Demon. You can rest in peace after your death. Patriarch Wu Ming held 2 dark twin sabers in his hands as he stared at Wang Xian and said calmly. Following that, a terrifying roar of the Dark Shadow Wolf King rang out. 4 longevity-level experts from the Wuji Empire locked onto Wang Xian. Around them, one domain after another slowly spread out. Under the terrifying domain, it was as if the entire world belonged to them. Our monarch and the others are getting serious. Today, the Sky Demon is going to fall. Excited voices sounded from below. The soldiers and citizens of the Wuji Empire stared at this historic battle with wide eyes. The entire sky has been controlled by the experts of the Wuji Empire. The Sky Demon is going to fall. Our choice was the right one. At the side, the few hundred members of the mercenary group looked at each other and revealed a faint smile on their faces. A bunch of trash. Where did your confidence come from? You look so high and mighty. You think you are invincible. I'm not playing with you anymore. Under the horrified gazes of all the soldiers and citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, a loud laughter came from Wang Xian's hand. Wang Xian, who had never taken it seriously, lost his patience when he saw their arrogant looks. He waved his arm gently and the dragon claw that crushed the dark stars in the sky attacked Patriarch Wu Ming, who was the closest to him. Sky Demon, we won't play with you anymore. Everyone from the Dragon and Phoenix Empire and the Dragon Palace will die today. Wu Ming's body shook when he saw the dragon claws in the sky attacking him. Demonic sabers appeared within a 60-kilometer radius around him. The demonic saber domain was activated. The demonic sabers slashed at the dragon claws. Attack! Roar! Wu Juding and Dark Eye Patriarch Dark Shadow Mad Wolf King roared as their domains exploded. Crack, 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 crack. However, at this moment, something that made his body freeze happened. The Gray 5 Elements Dragon Claw entered the Devil Blade domain and easily tore through the domain. The Dragon Claw was like a mountain as it heavily slammed toward Wu Ming Patriarch. How is this possible? Seeing that his domain was instantly forced, Wu Ming Patriarch's face revealed a terrified expression as he roared in disbelief. The strongest thing in the realm of longevity was a domain. Peng! Before he could escape, the dragon claw landed on his body. It was like a collision of billions of mountains. Patriarch Wu Ming's eyes widened, and his body smashed straight towards the ground. The life force in his body completely dissipated under a single palm. Even if he was an expert at the first stage of the realm of longevity, he still lost his life under this attack. Boom! The terrifying power caused Patriarch Wu Ming's body to fall in the middle of the 200,000-strong army. Thousands of soldiers who didn't have time to dodge died immediately. A 1,000-meter-deep pit appeared. In an instant, everyone in the Wuji Empire turned pale as if someone had grabbed their necks. Chapter 1721. 1721 unified the vast region. Cough, 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 cough. This. How is this possible? How is this possible? This. My God. Stupefied at this moment, the entire sky seemed to be stupefied. At the center of the Wuji Empire's over 200,000 invincible legions, a corpse was smashed there. The powerful force directly caused the ground within a radius of 1,000 meters to sink. Over 1,000 soldiers died instantly. The most unbelievable thing was the corpse in the center. That invincible longevity expert. With a single strike, with just a wave of a dragon claw, he had directly killed him. How was this possible? Everyone looked at the corpse in the center with a dumbfounded expression. At this moment, all the soldiers and citizens of the Wuji Empire, as well as all the soldiers and citizens of the Dragon and Phoenix Empire, had the same expression. The sound of swallowing saliva and gasping cold air rang out in unison. It was as if what happened here was not a war but a shocking competition. It would depend on who had the more shocked expression. When Wang Xian saw everyone's expression, the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. A faint smile appeared on his face. You dare to establish an empire with just 4 people in the realm of longevity. His voice continued to ring out, startling everyone around him. Lord Wang said that once just now. Some people came to their senses and looked at Wang Xian in unison. At this moment, there was only one focal point in the entire world, and that was the mysterious and powerful sky demon, Lord Wang. You dare to attack the Dragon and Phoenix Empire? You dare to kill me? Wang Xian continued to speak indifferently. At this moment, he waved his dragon claws again. The dragon claw that looked like it could destroy the world attacked Wu Juding, Dark Pupil, and the Dark Shadow Wolf King. The dragon claw was in the air as if it wanted to pluck the stars. You are not a powerhouse at the first level of longevity. You are already above the first level of longevity. Looking at the destructive dragon claw that was attacking them, Wu Juding, Dark Pupil, and the Dark Shadow Wolf King trembled. Their eyes were filled with fear. Killing Patriarch Wu Ming with one claw, an existence on the same level as them. What kind of strength was this? Was he at the second rank of the longevity realm, or stronger? Even if he was at the second rank of the longevity realm, it wasn't something they could deal with. Run! Wu Juding, Dark Eye, and the Shadow Wolf King looked at each other with fear in their eyes. Without any hesitation, their entire bodies started to flicker. Crack, crack, crack. However, at this moment, the sky above them was covered by the dragon claws. Their domains were rapidly collapsing. Are you trying to teleport away? Wang Xian looked at their flickering bodies and sneered. The dragon claws were suppressing their domains. Oh no! The expressions of the two of them and the demonic beast changed drastically. They flew into the distance in fear. What? Monarch Wu Ji and Patriarch Dark Eye are trying to escape. They were invincible just a moment ago. They have the air of an overlord between heaven and earth. Now, everyone around was stunned when they saw the two of them and the demonic beast flying towards the ruins of the kingdom of God. Their mouths were slightly agape. Die! Wang Xian said nonchalantly. His dragon claws attacked them at a terrifying speed. With his current combat strength of level 3 of longevity, It was a piece of cake for him to kill 3 level 1 of longevity. Bang bang bang. The power of the dragon claws and the destructive power of the 5 elements landed on the 2 humans and 1 demonic beast. Ah ah ah. Sky Demon, don't kill us. Don't kill us. We are willing to submit. We are willing to submit. I am willing to submit to be your mount. Don't kill me. Wuju's Dark Eye Patriarch and the Shadow Frenzy Wolf King instantly felt the vitality in their bodies fading rapidly. They roared out in fear. At this moment, it was the same domineering aura that announced the establishment of the Wuji Empire. It was completely different from the invincible aura that was about to destroy the Dragon and Phoenix Empire and Wang Xian. It was a complete contrast. At this moment, they only wanted to live. They had just stepped into the realm of longevity and had a lifespan of more than 10,000 years. They didn't want to die. Soul capture. When Wang Xian heard their pleas for mercy, there wasn't the slightest fluctuation on his face. A mysterious power shot out from his eyes. Wu Juding and Patriarch Dark Eye's bodies stiffened as they struggled intensely. Boom, boom, boom. Immediately after, the dragon claws descended completely as their bodies smashed downwards once again. This time, the Wuji Empire soldiers below had made preparations in advance. Their faces were filled with panic as they dodged to the side. The 3 corpses once again landed on the ground. Their eyes were wide open as they were filled with unwillingness and disbelief. They stared at the sky as if they were questioning the heavens. Why did they have to die after obtaining such a huge opportunity? They're dead. Our unrivaled monarch and unrivaled ancestor were killed with a single claw. How can this be believable? It's over, it's over. Why is the Sky Demon so powerful? But all the soldiers and citizens of the entire Wuji Empire stood there stiffly. Next, on the city walls of Dragon Phoenix City, Wang Xian looked at the 4 experts of the first level of longevity who had died. His expression did not change at all. He had killed many of the dragon emperors of the dragon race, let alone them. He looked at Feng Luan who was beside him and asked with a smile. They want to destroy all of us. We will naturally return the favor. Feng Luan was stunned when she saw Wang Xian. Following that, she slowly looked at all the soldiers of the Wuji Empire. Her eyes were filled with coldness. In the battle of the dynasty, the victor would be the king and the loser would be the bandit. A terrifying killing intent erupted from Feng Luan's body. Today, we will destroy the Wuji Empire and unify the vast region. Kill. A cold voice came out from Feng Luan's mouth. Ha! Lord Wang is invincible. Destroy the Wuji Empire. I feel like my blood is burning and boiling. Lord Wang is invincible. What Wuji Empire? Today, we will destroy you. Ha! Lord Wang is too powerful. He can kill a rank 1 longevity expert with 1 palm. Kill everyone in the Wuji Empire. Lord Wang is invincible, the Empress is invincible, and the Dragon and Phoenix Empire is invincible. Unify the vast region. As soon as Feng Luan finished her words, all the soldiers on the city wall reacted completely. They were so excited that their bodies trembled, and excitement shot out from their eyes. They opened their mouths and roared at the people below. Just now, they had been extremely nervous. After seeing Lord Wang easily kill all the experts in the Wuji Empire, they completely relaxed. At this moment, they needed to vent their frustrations. They needed to kill. The enemy wanted to kill them. Now that they had the opportunity, they naturally wanted to kill the enemy. The Dragon and Phoenix Empire wants to destroy us. They want to destroy us. With the heavenly devil around, how are we supposed to resist? How are we supposed to resist? No, I'm not resigned. I surrender. We surrender. Please don't kill us. Please don't kill us. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.